Michael. One more podcast. One more podcast in 2018. I don't know. I think that maybe we should just say thank you and go get ice cream, because
I'm cool with that.
Not a lot happened this week. No, you're just supposed to argue with me. You're supposed
but
to.
Ice cream sounds great.
Well, maybe we could get ice cream and do the podcast at the same time.
I'm okay with this.
And that way, what ice cream do you want? What's your ice cream of choice? What's your go-to?
Chocolate.
Chocolate? Just
Yeah.
regular old chocolate?
Because I'm a basic bitch.
Okay. No, like nutty, fudgy, rocky roady.
No, just Dutch chocolate.
Man, whoever decided to put fucking marshmallows inside of chocolate ice cream, that person was a goddamn genius. And I'm not afraid to say that. And also nuts, because nuts are great. But anyway, with all that out of the way, let's welcome back to the Rage Select podcast here at Rage Select. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike.
And this may be a kind of, okay, I want to put like 8 caveats at the beginning here. One, this might be a little meandering because like there wasn't a lot that happened this week. Let's be honest. It's the last, there weren't even any very good games that came out this week.
That's not true. That ice cream I ate came out.
That wasn't a game. I told you that we weren't racing and there was no winner.
Oh.
And you didn't get an achievement.
I did get an ice cream headache, though.
Honestly, I will say that the Spider-Man DLC, the third Spider-Man DLC, comes out this week. But by the time it comes out, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be gone off in the Great White North.
And I'll be playing it.
Yeah, son of a bitch. So yeah, 1, rambly. 2, I'm a little salty today. I've had a kind of a bad day with not a lot of sleep. I'm going to try to keep that shit under control, but like, you know, I still also have like 1 million things left to do before I leave, and literally 0 time to do them in. But other than that, we're gonna have a great podcast this week.
Fantastically.
Yep. So let's see. Why don't we kick off here? I don't know. Do you have anything of note that happened to you this week, Michael?
I finished Spider-Geddon.
What is that?
It's the latest Spider-Man crossover story with all the other Spider people that had the PS4 Spider-Man, actually. Speaking of which.
Comic book?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And how was it? You thumbs up?
It was actually not all that great.
Oh, okay.
Especially compared to Spider-Verse, because Spider-Verse was this incredible fucking like culmination of like dimension hopping and all this cool shit.
Yeah.
Where Spider-Geddon was like, we got the PS4 Spider-Man, I guess. I'm like, that's cool, I guess. What else you got? Miles is kind of cool. I'm like, yeah, but what else?
So you're saying that the Into the Spider-Verse really kind of raised the bar for you?
Yeah, Into the Spider-Verse, the movie itself, is like probably one of my favorite pieces of Spider-Man like media out there, like period.
I still need to go see it. I saw actually though a little bit of it because last night I was looking to flex the 4K on this new TV that I've been talking about nonstop, and I found out the Google Play Store will let you do that, and so I checked out Venom, which at the end had like a 10 minutes of
that's right
Spider-Verse, and so yeah, I watched Venom, which I mean, you know, like it wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. Like I liked a lot of you know what I really liked about it was that the symbiote really gives them an opportunity to like they spent like a good 70% of the movie before they finally wrapped him up in that big CGI black snot bubble, right?
Okay.
Like you know, he just had like Venom tendrils popping out of his chest to doing stuff. And I like Tom Hardy well enough. I don't know. I was like, it was okay. You know what? It's literally a movie that I feel like is perfect for like, oh, it's on Netflix now. Hey, you know, I remember when I saw the trailer for Venom. I got nothing to do for fucking 2 hours. Let's watch Venom, you know? And
that sounds perfect, actually.
It was fine. I mean, like, the problem, of course, being that, you know, the final fight in the movie. So, you know, obviously Venom is a big CGI monster, right?
Yeah.
And the bad guy is also a big CGI monster. So you kind of get into that, what was it, like Incredible Hulk syndrome, where like at the end you've got one big CGI monster punch another big CGI monster, and none of this is like, we're not talking about like Thanos level CGI, especially because Venom himself is just, he's slick, he's shiny, he's got a lot of like moving tendrils, so he doesn't even look like a thing to begin with, right?
It doesn't help that the bad guy is the exact same thing, but like slightly,
he's like the gray one, yeah. And then Venom is the black one, and it's like, oh great, okay,
it's like fantastic, I guess.
Did you see Venom?
I only saw part of it.
Okay,
and I was just like, this is not for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't. I mean, like, it definitely, like, I've already watched Infinity War a bunch of times, and I would never say, like, if Venom and Into the Spider-Verse were the theater, I wouldn't be like, now, I've heard a lot of good stuff about Into the Spider-Verse, but that Venom made a lot of money in the Chinese market.
But
so
that Venom kid sounds like a cool dude.
Yeah. I mean, like, I would say don't pay money. Or if you do, like, a small amount of money, I don't know. I mean, it kind of ranks up there with, like, I don't know, stuff like Justice League, right, where I watched it and I was like, well,
you didn't hate yourself for it.
Yeah, that was a movie. It had a beginning, a middle, and end. It had a character with an arc and a plot, and it had obstacles to overcome and some special effects. And I was like, okay.
Hooray.
The funniest part is that the infamous... the rolling down the street like a turd in the wind. Like, that line is at the very end of the movie. Like, I was kind of waiting the entire movie because that's like the worst line in the entire movie.
Oh, okay.
And then they actually had an after credits stinger, which I thought was kind of interesting. And I would actually really be, I mean, I don't think it'll ever happen. In fact, well, I'd really be interested to see what this character is like if they rolled him into the MCU, because
okay,
he's obviously not like a fucking Captain America hero guy. It's
he's
like,
not exactly kid friendly,
right? Exactly. So, but it didn't give me cancer. It didn't stab me in the balls. There's some limits as to how bad a movie could be. I watched it all the way through and didn't turn it off. I mean, after it, I rented the Lego Movie and watched that, and that was like 10 times better, obviously.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Lego Movie, but...
that works, though.
Yeah. Speaking of movies that are not as good as the Lego Movie, probably. I don't know. We got a trailer, I think this was like just today?
Yeah, it was just earlier today.
For the Hellboy, and by the time this comes out, it'll be a little bit older, but the Hellboy 2019 movie trailer. Is this Guy Ritchie, or is this...
I don't remember who's directing it.
Okay, I gotta look it up.
Who's playing Hellboy.
It could be... is it him, or is it... who's Mila's husband? What's he doing?
Paul
Anderson?
Paul Thomas Anderson?
Neil Marshall. Okay. Wrong on all counts, Jeff.
I don't know
Just
who
fucking
that
pulling crap out of your butt, which is where it is. Dog Soldiers, The Descent, let's see, Hellboy, the Lost in Space TV series that just came out. He did some Westworld. He did some Hannibal. He did some Constantine. He did some Game of Thrones. He did some Black Sails. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Here's like The Descent and Dog Soldiers are probably the movies that I would know best from him. So who is playing Hellboy in this thing?
He's the sheriff from Stranger Things.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
David Harbour.
The Tide ad guy.
Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't like.
It feels like a parody trailer.
Yeah,
on bits of it.
The putting Moni Moni in it was a really bizarre choice. Like, it's a really bizarre musical choice to have in it, and then it's very jokey. It's very like, tee, look at Hellboy. Nobody understands him. He's a big old demon man, and I guess I was kind of hoping that when they rebooted this, that we'd be getting like a really moody, edgy, super like take how dark the Del Toro Hellboys were, and then even darker than that, like even more oppressive and Cthulhic and like gross, Whereas we got Mila Jovovich bopping around here doing one-liners and frickin'. It looks like they've got like a secret, the BRPD or whatever have like a secret Archer style headquarters under a chip shop, and like,
oh yeah,
I'm like, I just don't know about all this. Like, I think of Hellboy as being much darker than this, and this just looks very weird. Also, his hair is just like super long, and
it's kind of weird looking. I'm not gonna lie. There's something off about him.
Yeah,
I can't put my finger on it though.
Like his face. His face. There's something wrong with his face. No, I don't. Yeah, I'm always with you.
I don't know.
Where I don't like the joking, and I don't know. Maybe at least it won't be just a big old wank off about like fucking Hellboy's in love with Liz Del Toro.
Yeah,
like,
that was something.
Jesus, like it wasn't that offensive in the first one, but then by the second one, it's just like, can you give it a rest? What, fucking Abe Sapien and Hellboy are gonna get drunk and talk about how they love human women. I like what
It was, I don't know. Like I've never really read the comics myself. Like I have a friend who's read like every single fucking one he could possibly get his hands on.
Yeah,
and he's very iffy on it too. So
I don't know. I guess it's just out of all the things in Hollywood that you could make jokey and slapsticky and put a fucking is that Billy Idol song behind or whatever. Like Hellboy wasn't the one. I mean, like get like.
You feel like Zack Snyder should have made this, is what you're saying?
Yeah, Zack
like
Snyder
legitimately.
And then it would have been all like introspective about like Hellboy feels. Yes, exactly. Let this person make Superman, and then let Zack Snyder make Hellboy, because then Hellboy would have been like, oh, I don't. In the world of humans, I feel like an outcast, and it'd be like, you know what? Like the 300 style aesthetic would have been great for Hellboy. Yes, you are a genius. Switch them back and forth. Switch them in time.
I'm cool with this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, but I'm also kind of a fair weather Hellboy fan. Like, I'm not exactly like, oh my god, did you see there's a new Hellboy trailer? Oh my god. So,
yeah, I was more. I only really watched the two movies, and read some of it that a friend showed me, and I was like, I like the idea of Hellboy, and then I never read into it.
Did they have Nazis in the first one? In the first Del Toro
They do
Hellboy?
for like the first part of it.
Because they did the Rasputin storyline, right? That was like the first Hellboy comic I think that ever came out, or it's like the first collected one that I ever bought, where it's like Rasputin is trying to bring back the elder gods, and Hellboy's got a punch of Cthulhu, and that's kind of what I like more about it. I guess it's so weird because it's just like the art, the Mignola art of Hellboy.
It's hard to emulate in any way.
Yeah, it's so striking that when you see this kind of just like, I don't know, it looks like a regular ass movie. Like maybe they should have taken the Fincher 7 style and just like crank that contrast, just crank it all the way up and break off the knob, and then put on another knob that says contrast and turn that one up too.
Well, between this and him and Injustice 2, like they're starting to try to bring him back more and more.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. I mean, it's a trailer, right? Like,
yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's the first trailer, so
could be good, could be bad. I just got done going about Venom, so like, also probably don't listen to Jeff because I mean,
yeah,
like
I'm kind of going as hard as I can still.
So, right, well, Hellboy, who knows? But why don't we talk about some video game news? Because there was, as I said, stupid video game news this week for everybody to talk about. And it should tell everyone that's listening something that our head story is about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Fortnite, dancing, and copyright infringement.
And the Backpack Kid.
And the Backpack Kid. And 2 Millie, who I'm too old and too white to know. I'm just too old. I don't know anything about anybody. But okay, so let's back it all the way up to the last week or the week before. So Fortnite, right? Everybody knows Fortnite, battle royale game. Has emotes that you can get, and some of these emotes are dances. And this all started with 2 Millie basically bringing a suit against Epic for basically putting a dance that he created. It was called like the Swipe It or something like. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
I really don't know.
I'm so sorry. I really don't know. And saying like, you guys ripped off my popular dance. You used it to make money, and you didn't give me any money for it. Now, there's a little bit of a strange rub in this, and that is that you can copyright a dance. You actually can make up a dance, and you can submit a copyright claim on it. However, 2 Millie had not copywritten this dance before. Like, it was like he made the dance, Fortnite made the emote, then he copywrote it, he copywrote it, and then sued Epic for it. And since then, we have had a couple more high-profile folks.
Yes, high-profile. I'm using quotes.
Alfonso Ribeiro, who played Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who, he has this dance, the Carlton, where he snaps his fingers back and forth to Tom Jones. There is an emote called Fresh in Fortnite, and he is also suing Fortnite, as well as Michael mentioned before, the Backpack Kid, who, if you don't know, does this silly thing where like he kind of just swings his arms back and forth really quickly.
It was first the dumbest thing ever put on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, everyone was like, it's great. I'm like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, it's really weird. And they're all apparently bringing a suit against them, and apparently none of them have copyrighted any of these dances. So, which makes me think that, like, if they manage to successfully copyright their dances, that Fortnite would just be like, okay, let's be real crystal clear here, Michael.
Yeah.
The ability to do the Carlton, the Backpack Kid, or whatever it is that 2 Milli made is not the reason that people play Fortnite.
No.
They do not play that game for the sick-ass dance emotes. So I think that, like, your best case scenario is going to be that, like, Fortnite removes these from the game and maybe pays you a small settlement. Like, not a huge settlement, but like a reasonable settlement. And then guess what? Nobody fucking cares about you anymore. And somebody who doesn't give a shit about their dances is going to have their dances in Fortnite instead, you know?
That's pretty much what's going to happen. And the Carlton has been in a lot of other games, to be honest.
Yeah, it was
in Destiny, actually.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, but apparently Backpack Kid was invited to the E3 Fortnite Pro-Am and was asked about his dancing and he said, it's not that big a deal. I'm just glad that it's in the game. So, but then, you know, some people started pulling out them lawsuits. And then there's a second question. There's a question that's come after that, which is specifically about both Alfonso Ribeiro and Backpack Kid, whose name is Russell Horning. I shouldn't just keep call everybody else, like, if I was like some rapper Carlton and the Backpack Kid, but if I keep using people's names, I need to use everybody's names. Like, somebody dragged up this thing that said that, like, when Alfonso Ribeiro made up the Carlton, it was just like 2 other dances that he thought were kind of dorky, and then he put them together to be like, this is how I think a white person would dance or whatever. And like the Russell Horning, the Backpack Kid, apparently, like, there's some question as to what if his thing is based on this other dance that was like another thing on YouTube before he did it. So like, the question really comes down to, I don't know. It's all very silly. It kind of reminds me of when Lindsay Lohan sued Take-Two over over her story, quote unquote, being in Grand Theft Auto, right? Or like one of the other frivolous lawsuits. Also, like, I'm not trying to again here. I'm not attempting to be a dickhole about this, but Epic Games has made a shit fuck load of money. Like, they have some fuck off money. Like, what, there's actually an argument to be made that, like, they've made so much goddamn money that they should just be like, here's $50,000, now go away. Like, go away and shut up, right? Or we'll just take your thing out of the game and put in the people's dances that will agree to it.
It's not exactly like Carlton has been, you know, number one in some sort of news thing, or the Backpack Kid is literally known for the one fucking thing.
He's called the Backpack Kid.
Like, he was known for originally making an ass of himself on TV with Katy Perry.
Right.
And now he's like this popular fucking thing because of a goddamn stupid dance.
Yes. Yeah.
I literally don't know anything else he's known for at this point.
Yep. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the entirety of it. It is kind of interesting, though, to think of the idea also of like taking things that are in the zeitgeist and then putting them into your game. Like, I'm pretty sure that if it's not Fortnite, I saw like that. I think Fortnite has a praise the sun emote. You know, like,
I think
like
something
Dark Souls
has
style
something like
one.
that.
And I wonder, like, did they get permission, or they were just like, "Yeah, fuck it, we like it, like it's an homage," you know? Because it's not, because like the Carlton, the one isn't called the Carlton. It's called like Fresh, right? Like, they weren't just like, here's the Carlton.
Here's the fucking name that's probably copyrighted kind of thing. The only thing people cared about the dances was when they made Thanos do these dances. That's literally it. It's the only time anyone gave a shit about these dances, by the way.
Yeah. That's what it really comes down to for me, is that I could see Epic just being like, all right, fuck it, no more dances. Like, you know what would be interesting is if Epic decided to be like, hey, everybody, so we took all the dances out of Fortnite And you can blame Alfonso Ribeiro, 2 Millie, and Russell the Backpack Kid. So go at them on Twitter forever if you want.
That kid would get his ass kicked so fast by so many people.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. It brings up an interesting question of, if you don't specifically copyright something and you let it just like out into the world, I don't know.
Like
what if I copyright that thing where you make a heart with your hands like Japanese girls do? And,
yeah.
What if I what if I made a song that was like, do the heart thing, and then you do that, and I was like, I'm copyrighting this. You know what it reminds me is of a little bit is of the guy that was that one guy that copyrighted like Power or something in the video game industry. I don't think it's Power.
Oh,
like it was like this guy that copyrighted like this one term, and then he would just go after everyone who used it in like the title of their game. I don't know. I don't really know whose side I'm on here because Epic, I kind of like Epic, but I do think that people should get reimbursed for making art.
Here's the thing: is I'm on Epic's side on this for a couple of reasons. One is because Carlton had plenty of fucking time to copyright his bullshit. 2 Millie probably also had plenty of time to copyright his thing.
Yeah.
The only person I kind of feel bad for is Backpack Kid because he's too young to really think about that sort of thing.
Right.
So that's like the only one that I could maybe see that with. But the other two, fuck those guys. They had plenty of goddamn time. The only reason they're freaking out now is because it's making money.
Yeah, but I mean, even so, like, I'm just kind of trying to go back there. Like, what do you guys want? Like,
what do they want?
How much money do you want?
You're not going to get millions of dollars because on those dances. That's not how those dances worked.
Right. Like, I mean, if I was Epic, I would be like, and then the other question is that if Epic does decide to do a payout, what's keep Epic from being like, I'll give you $10,000 and then your shit belongs to Epic from now because we are going to copyright your dance after you pay for it. We're changing the name to the Carlton and we're going to file a trademark a copyright on this dance, buddy.
It's just so dumb.
It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, our first whole set of stories over here are kind of bummers. So hey, you know what? If you want to get you want some pick me up stuff, maybe skip ahead a little bit. But speaking of Fortnite, so what was it, like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, Epic pulled Infinity Blade from the iOS store. Infinity Blade 2. They basically said they just didn't want to run the servers for it or something anymore. I don't know exactly what the thing was. But then one of the things that they did was they put the Infinity Blade into Fortnite. And it was always in the same location in the map, which is a little weird.
Uh-huh.
It takes up your entire inventory, but gives you all these buffs. Like gives you like regen and shields and all kinds of stuff. So apparently they put that in and then pretty much immediately took it out because they looked at the stats and basically like, if you got that, you won. Like, if you got the Infinity Blade, you won the match. That was like what was happening. Anybody who was good enough to pick it up was good enough to win it. So they took it out. They've been talking about maybe reworking it because they've been talking about adding quote unquote mythic items into the game.
Oh, okay.
As like things that spawn that have like kind of very special properties or whatever. Once again, just proving that like Fortnite's the most interesting game that I don't ever want to play. Like, I think that what they're doing is really fascinating, but I still have no interest in playing that game whatsoever.
It's one of the most creative series of events I've ever seen in a game.
Yeah,
like they're constantly just going, but what if we did this?
And the thing is that like. The reason I keep talking about this, or one of the reasons, because I'm sure that people are really tired. You're probably going to be tired by the end of this podcast of me saying my Jeff bullshit again. But like one of the things that's really fascinating about it is the frequency. Like MMOs don't put out this much shit. It's almost like, you know how you would buy a game and then it's like you would wait and then after 6 months there'd be a big dev update where they added a bunch of stuff into the game. It's like instead of having a dev update where you added a bunch of big stuff in the game, it's like you just started rolling shit out every 2 or 3 weeks to just be like, here's this thing, here's this thing. Try an airplane. Do you want an airplane? Oh, look, we changed the map. Hey, you can make buildings and put them in this part of the map now. Oh, there's a glacier now. Hey, look, it's Santa. This is after we had our Halloween thing. This is after we had food fight. This is after we had the...
Here's a shopping cart. It's like, holy
exactly.
shit.
Like, there's just so many things that they keep adding into that. The pace, like... And frankly, it's amazing because You know, right now that the people that are playing Destiny 2, it's like the meta for Destiny 2 has set in and calcified, right? Is everybody's doing this strike to try to get these weapons for their characters, because it's like when you get to the upper tiers of an MMO and it's like, well, you need X gear in order to do X raid, in order to get X reward, and then you just do it over and over again.
Yeah.
Whereas here, they're just like constantly changing that shit up, so there's no way for it to just like get stale. I don't know. It's really, it's one of the best implementations that I've seen of games as service, because unlike a lot of games as service that just, you know, that don't ever release anything, they just are constantly releasing stuff, like, and not just like garbage, but like good stuff. It's like, hey, here's a new sticker pack for your character. It's like, no, here's an airplane, here's a golf cart, here's a fucking rocket, here's, you know, yeah. Just,
I just wonder how long they can keep it up, though, is really my only concern, because they're treating it like a full-on sprint.
yeah.
And we don't know if they can marathon through it because of it or not. I don't know. They seem to be pretty good at it, though, so far, because it's already, like you said, it's been basically a year since they've been doing this series of updates over and over again.
Yep. Yeah, it's been absolutely incredible. And I remember when this shit first came out as like, oh, it turns out the Fortnite has a battle royale mode. And I was just like, that'll never last. You know, the dumb zombie game they worked on for like 5 years, and then nobody is interested in playing anymore. Oh, battle royale, whatever. Nobody's going to take PUBG out of the running.
Except for PUBG.
Except for PUBG.
Only PUBG will fuck over PUBG.
Yeah.
Said whoever made PUBG.
Well, I'll tell you what. That's actually a nice segue into our next story, which maybe you could talk a little bit about, even though I can just talk about the particulars. In the category that I like to call only blank can fuck over blank, them super best friends are no longer best friends.
Goddamn. Okay, so the super best friends, as they're known now, but back in the day when Machinima, the YouTube channel, was really starting, they were known just as the two best friends play.
Yeah.
They were just two dudes playing video games, and my friends introduced me. They've been doing this for like 9 fucking years.
Yep.
They introduced me to it. I was a big fan of it for a long time because it was just a series of shorts, essentially. And then they grew into like more and more people into it. It became this huge fucking like phenomenon in the gaming community. They helped games get fucking made, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the Zaibatsu, that thing with in Dive Kick. The reason it's in there because they helped that game get made.
Oh, okay.
They helped Skullgirls get a lot of funding. They helped so many different like random things get funding. And then people started noticing that they weren't really two specific guys weren't really hanging out that much video wise. And which is the two people in question, which is Matt and Pat. So Matt is the one in the Punisher beanie, and then Pat is the short redhead. And so what happened was that apparently the business side of it and just recording for 9 years just fucking broke them,
ground them down,
and then they're not friends anymore, and it's done.
Yeah,
and it's just completely and utterly done.
Yep. And and each one of them is still like they're doing their own things, right? They're just not doing it together anymore.
Yeah.
It's interesting because somebody mentioned it to me on the last live stream, and I do find it interesting that I feel like the longer that we keep going with this YouTube shit, that the more you're seeing like, yeah, man, like this shit can fuck up your mental health, your relationship with people. Like I've always thought of it as kind of weird that that Rage Select over the years is basically just me and then whoever will come over to my house.
It kind of is that. Yeah.
But I've seen the burnout happen. It started with Jason and it went to Grant. There was like Amanda talked when she was talking about making playlists for Rage Select about the whole eras of this channel where it's like Aaron once a week, every week until Aaron left, and then no more Aaron. Sarah once a week, every week until like Sarah left. Joe, was my dude for a little while there. Like, and I think it's actually interesting because I start to wonder, like, because we're on this is like 5.5 years of Rage Select, and I often wonder if Jason and I were still recording every week, like twice a week, every week over here, if we would fucking hate each other now because as it is, Jason comes over and we just have a blast. We just sit down and play Red Dead. And we're like, yay, horse game. And so,
yeah, because with these guys specifically, there was 4 of them at one point, and one of them did get burned out before the 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he left because it's stating mental health and all that stuff. He's like, he wanted to deal with his own life kind of thing. And so when that first happened, a lot of people were like, we're pretty wary. They're just like, who knows what happens next from here on? And this is pretty much the outcome of what happens.
Yeah.
Everyone gets burned out.
It's true. It's very true. This is why this is the last podcast of 2018. Not ever, but just I need a couple of weeks. But
this came almost out of nowhere for me, at least, because I didn't follow them the way I used to.
Uh-huh.
I just remember waking up one morning and somebody posted this, and I was like, well, fuck. 9 years of one of the biggest Let's Players, or one of the first big Let's Players, they're just done.
Yeah, that's incredible. But then you know what? I've been watching Philip DeFranco, and there's that was it like a Korean YouTube channel or something like that that's getting ready to. It's like him and PewDiePie are like neck and neck.
Oh, okay.
Like somebody's getting ready to dethrone PewDiePie as like the top of YouTube.
PewDiePie keeps trying to fuck himself, though.
I'm pretty sure PewDiePie is also tired and would like to have a sit down, a rest. Yeah, just remember. I mean, that's the other thing that's weird is that in the era of YouTube stuff, like especially because I remember their output was so huge.
Yeah,
like they would just do it like full playthroughs. Like I think that's why some people, or why there are YouTube channels where it's just like a game comes out and the first thing I'm going to do is just play all the way fucking through it. Just put that entire fucking thing on YouTube, like all 20 hours right away.
It's fucking crazy to me. But people keep watching these like full 40-hour games with these people.
Yeah,
it's like Jesus Christ.
I don't know how you
burnt out.
I don't know how you can keep it up. I mean, I can only record for about 4 hours, maybe 5, depending on what games we're playing. Like, if the game we're playing is really enjoyable and interactive, like, again, Jason and I have sat down to do blocks of Red Dead, and it's like, Red Dead's a very engaging game, so we're able to sit there and make fun of it, and it's great. But, like, on the other hand, sometimes you play a game that's not giving you very much, or that's very introspective, and you just got to talk about some bullshit for 90 minutes. But pour one out for the 2 best friends, for the super best friends. And wish them the best of luck. I'm not really super familiar with their stuff, but I
wish them the best.
Care more about them than I do about dancing lawsuits. So I'll tell you what I care less about, and that's Battlefield 5. But apparently Battlefield 5 has been okay. So file this under a recent trend, which we're going to talk a little bit more about. But file this under a recent trend, which has not been great, which is apparently Battlefield 5 rolled out some changes to the game that changed the damage output of all weapons across the board in an attempt to reduce the TTK, time to kill. So the time between when you spawn and when you die. Because apparently the way that the game was balanced when it first came out, it was very quick. Like you would spawn and then you would die, and so they were trying to lower the weapon damage across the board so that people could live for a little bit longer and, like, I don't know, fight back when they were getting shot.
Yeah.
But they didn't really message this to their community very well. It just kind of came out of nowhere, and it made like slower guns worse. Like guns with a lower rate of fire got worse. Okay. And then there was also a thing where they have a new Conquest playlist dubbed Core, which has the old weapon values on it. And so the community is like, all right, well, first of all, you didn't really like message this very well. And then second of all, are you trying to like split the fan base into like casual noobs and like hardcore masochists? Like, and they put out a press release, so they basically said like the reason they did this was because they knew over the holiday season a bunch of people were going to be getting Battlefield 5, and I guess they didn't want their experience to be like, yay, I got the new Battlefield game. Dead. Oh, great. This Battlefield game sucks. Give me Overwatch. Does anybody have the Overwatch disc that I can put in to play? So yeah, they announced they put out an announcement that basically said We've seen TTK has been a big talking point and causing a divide in the community, which was never our intention. We've been listening closely to what you've been saying. Changes to the game carrying this kind of weight need to be clearer, earlier communication before getting rolled out. We'll improve how we roll out updates in the future and respond more quickly when you have questions or concerns. But again, I find that this I think that DICE has put themselves in a real fucked up position because, I mean, like, people who just want to go online and have some fun, I don't think Battlefield 5 is the game to do that. Like, I think Battlefield 5 has become, and traditionally, I guess in my head, maybe it's not true, maybe I'm just making shit up, and maybe before Battlefield 1, but I feel like Battlefield was the kind of game where you could just be like, yay, everybody get in the plane, we're going to go upside down, and like, have some fun, play with your friends. You didn't have to be just like, all right, team, we're going to the point. Go, go, go. Like, spawn on me. And, that it was a little bit less strenuous than, like, Call of Duty.
It had more of the sillier, random, crazy shit that people would do.
Yeah.
Like, people would jump out of jets, shoot somebody, and then try to land back into the jet kind of thing.
I love that video so much. I love that video so much.
And then there was the one where, I think it was in 4, there's, like, a wire on a bridge that if you blow it up, you can use it to kill people.
Oh, really?
And so somebody timed the wire to take out a jet. And it was fucking amazing, by the way, because it took him like 5 tries to do it.
I mean, I'm sure that plenty of that stunt stuff happens in Battlefield 1, but like Battlefield 4 had like the Megalodon. Remember that?
Oh, that's right.
And I guess it's just a question of, you know what? I bet the problem is like this. You have to decide now whether you want to be like a hardcore game or whether you want to be accessible. And I bet that a lot of it has to do with Overwatch. Because, like, I remember when Battlefront came out and, like, the hardcore online crowd,
oh yeah,
they didn't want any part of that. They were just like, this is for babies. This is baby shit. This is baby poop.
And I loved it.
Yeah. And strangely, though, I feel like Overwatch has managed to, I don't know. I mean, like, some days I just get my ass kicked over and over again, but, like, some days I do all right. And I don't think I'm getting that much better at Overwatch. I think I've always been about the same skill level. But it's always fun to play even if you're losing. Where in Battlefield 5, it's like, oh, I just spawned and then I died and then I spawned and then I died and then I spawned and then I died and then, I shot at a guy one time and then I died. And, like, I don't know.
That's how I felt about Call of Duty. Like, when Call of Duty 4 first came out, I was used to the amount of time it took to die and say something like Halo.
Oh yeah,
and then when Call of Duty came out, it was like I'm dead. Yeah. Like every single time. Like I would be like, "There's and I'm dead." Like every fucking time.
I actually always preferred Halo, except for the fact that the people that played Halo were always so much better at everybody. The people who really were into playing Halo are so much better at Halo than I ever could be. That it was just like all I did was just run around and be stupid. Like, yeah, I got the warthog. Everybody inside. I'm gonna flip this bitch. We're gonna see where we can get this warthog stuck.
I used to be the guy who's really into Halo until I think it was like 22. I went to an anime convention and they had a Halo setup. And it was one of those ones where the TV isn't like it has two different TVs, so one's facing the other guy and one's facing you.
Oh, okay.
And I lost horribly.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this guy's really good. So I turned to look who it is, and it's like a 12-year-old.
Yep.
And I was like, well, I guess I'm done.
With the game? No, with everything. With life.
I was like, this is just, oh, God.
Well, speaking of being done with life, our next story is, unfortunately, we have to go back to that horrible well that is Fallout 76.
Those sons of bitches.
Because it looks like some Redditors have been looking at some change logs and some internal code in the game and have kind of found a lot of indications that whether it's going to be now or later, there's going to be a motherfucking loot box store in Fallout 76. Now, this is rumor. This is conjecture. However, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, at this point, Bethesda just put microtransactions in. How much worse could this get, right? Like, the people who are still playing your game, obviously, well, there was a whole thing where they where people were data mining the game and finding out that like there were like these subtle changes that were being made in the back end.
Oh,
and
yeah. I heard about the Santa outfit thing.
Yeah, I got that one too. Yep.
Where that's like, what the fuck, guys?
Yep. There is a Santa outfit. It's called, the bundle is called Coming to Town. It's got a Santa, it's got a Mrs. Claus, it's got some like reindeers and stuff. And it is 2,000 Atom in the store. 2,000 Atom is $20 in real world money.
And it's on sale, by the way?
And it is on sale.
And it didn't exist before this point, so that makes no fucking sense why it's on sale.
Yep. Good God. Good golly, Miss Molly. Like, are you kidding me? I paid a full $60 for Fallout 76. I will never put any additional money into that game. Like, are you kidding me? Like, ooh.
It's fucking ridiculous.
What's that?
It's just fucking ridiculous. Like, the fact that even before the game came out, they're just like, we don't really know what this is, so... Yeah, and they just keep proving they don't know what the fuck this thing is.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I mean, you know, if they put loot boxes and microtransactions, and I mean, well, they already have microtransactions, but they put like, honest to God, like, because you know, Fallout Shelter has loot boxes, right?
Yeah,
but at least Fallout Shelter has the good sense to be fucking free and not cost $60. I mean, what is it, like 30 now? Because most places already have it half off.
Yeah.
But when you think about if you bought this game for $30, would you spend $20 on some Santa clothes? Like, would you spend half the cost of if it was full price, would you spend a third of the price of the game over again to get these Santa clothes? And I know
it's like $12 for the emote bundle too. Like, it's like, come on, guys.
Yeah, and like you can earn Adam in the game, but you know, whenever they do this shit, that they have to make these things expensive enough to try to get you to spend real world money for them, right? I don't know, man. Like, is Bethesda just are they on their way out? Are they going the way of the BioWare? Or are they going the way of you know?
I don't know. They're trying as hard as they can to make themselves look bad, and I don't know why.
What was the last thing they put out before 76?
Was it Skyrim again?
Was it Skyrim again? What was the last new game they put out that they made? Fallout, it'd be Fallout 4, right?
Yeah.
Fallout 4 and all the DLC. Yeah. Because I was thinking about it, I'm like, well, the Evil Within 2 was good, but they didn't make that. And like, Prey was good, but they didn't make that either.
Same with Doom.
Yeah, it was good. Wolfenstein, but they didn't make any of those. I'm like, are we sure that I mean, because here's the thing, man, is I like Fallout 3, but I still can take the criticism of Fallout 3. Like, who's that YouTuber that people get mad at me for talking about?
No idea.
H-Bomber guy.
Oh.
Has this like 2-hour video about like Fallout 3 is a piece of garbage, and here's why. I think it was like one of the first this is a piece of garbage and here's why videos on the internet. And like, I don't agree with everything that he said in that video, but I do take people's criticism about how like the main quest in Fallout 3 kind of sucks. And there's a lot of the things that you can't like. Fallout 1 and 2 are probably better games than Fallout 3.
Yeah.
But I still found a lot to enjoy with Fallout 3. And I eventually came around with New Vegas, but like, you know, 4 Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
The Elder Scrolls card game, Fallout Shelter. Like, guys, you got to put out something good because this is like late era LucasArts right over here.
This is really bad. This is like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just so.
It's interesting because
fucking asinine.
It makes me wonder, like, how good of a company was Obsidian, or were they just doing something that there was no other market for? Because I'll be goddamned if that, or Bethesda, not Obsidian. Because I'll be goddamned if I'm not super excited about that Obsidian game that they announced at the thing, right? Like, it looks amazing, and I can't wait for it. So
it looks super creative, and this looks like continues to look like garbage.
Yeah, and then remember when they wanted to make you pay for mods in Skyrim, and even now they have that, like the mod store, or not. It's not a mod store, but it's like a Bethesda workshop or something like that, where you can buy money. Oh man, Bethesda, you need to get your shit together.
It's bad.
That's all I'm saying.
It's really bad.
Get your shit together. Get it all together. Put it in a bag. Speaking of shit being got together, Here's the Storm.
Is that still a thing?
Yes. Well, maybe not for that much longer, but yes, sort of. So Here's the Storm, which is the Blizzard MOBA, which I actually played and I liked a fair amount.
A lot of people did when it came out.
I mean, it was nice because you could like literally go on a team with people versus the computer, and so I didn't have to like play against other people and again like learn how to play that game. I could just be like, "Yay, the computer! They suck. Let's beat them up." apparently, in a press release, Blizzard just talked about how like right now, apparently Blizzard, and I believe it, has more like open and ongoing like services, projects, and games than they've ever had before.
Oh.
So between updates that are being done to World of Warcraft, updates that are being done to Hearthstone, updates that are being done to Overwatch, Here's the Storm, Diablo. Well, I guess it's not Diablo right now, but like they just got a lot of irons in the fire, right?
Yeah.
That they're going to be starting to pull devs off of Hearthstone or Here's the Storm to work on other projects. Not all of them. They're going to be leaving people behind, but apparently this is not going to be like a huge priority for them going forward.
Oh.
And as such, they also canceled the Heroes of the Dorm and then their big tournament for Here's the Storm for 2019. So
that's interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I look at the crowds in Overwatch, man, and I'm just like, if I was going to do an esport, I wouldn't try to go up against the international. I'd be like, let's fucking do, because I've never seen again, I talk about this stuff all the time, but you guys have to, folks, remember, this is like unprecedented. The stadium full of people watching people play Overwatch, like the Overwatch League. Like, I've never seen a Call of Duty competition that looked like that before, where there's huge numbers of people. Everybody's super excited. Everybody's go, I love Torbjorn. Like, hold up a sign, like, Torbjorn's my favorite. I don't know. Like, I think that the money that they're putting into it makes it, because you remember when Activision first announced it was called like Call of Duty Elite.
Oh, that's right.
Right? And it was going to be like, oh, here's the stat tracker, and then here's like, we're going to do all these tournaments. And I know they have tournaments for Call of Duty, but it's not like I see them on Twitch. Like, maybe I'm just not looking for them.
They don't come up often in like main, I want to say mainstream media, but that's really what it is. It's not really something that comes up that often.
I mean, I'll go on Twitch and I see people playing like Black Ops 4 multiplayer.
Yeah.
But it's never, a big fucking fuck-off stadium with the team colors. It also really helps that they have like identified teams with one-word names where I'm just like, go Houston, H-Town.
Exactly. And I think one of the main reasons it works as well as it does is because of the fact that they're actual characters in the game.
Yeah.
Because in Call of Duty, it's just like he's Army dude number 57 or some shit.
Yep.
Whereas with Overwatch, it's like, yeah, that's McCree. That's like, you can point out a guy and be like, I know who that is.
Yep.
It's just like, it's the reason fighting games work that kind of way. Mm-hmm. The big stadiums full of people. Because you can be like, yeah, I like Ryu, I like Ken, that kind of thing. And Overwatch has gotten that in a shooter way.
Do you like Ryu? Do you like Ryu?
Yeah, of course.
Do you like him? What about Doc Ryu? What about the Cage is his name. Kage is his. I'm glad you're here because I don't care.
Kage is the dumb. Okay, let me get into who Kage is.
Yeah, you tell them. You tell that audience.
So, people, Ryu used to be known for having a character known as Evil Ryu, which is just Ryu being evil. But they decided to go an extra mile and create Kage. Kage isn't so much as evil Ryu as he is the physical manifestation of the Satsui no Hado to Ryu to prove that he should use the Satsui no Hado. It's dumb as fuck, and it's the most anime fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. And he looks stupid as shit.
I'm like, those are words you just said.
But his moves are really cool.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate the way he looks.
Like, okay, so what does he look like? He's Ryu, but he's got his top off, and he's got devil horns, and he's got some like little werewolf teeth coming up from the bottom.
Yeah, he's supposed to look kind of like an Oni, like a demon, essentially.
Yeah, I can see that.
So he's got like these little horns, but they're glowing,
like neon horns,
and he's got like an underbite kind of thing, like an Oni does.
Right. He's got like there's like pieces of him that have like light shining through where the demon energy is coming out or something. I don't.
So he, God, like if it wasn't for the horns and the teeth thing, I probably think he would look pretty cool. But honestly, like he looks really dumb, but his moveset looks so fucking cool because it's all like a fusion of Oni's attacks and Akuma and Evil Ryu attacks, and it looks really cool.
Okay, well, wait a minute. There might be a fix for this. Like before you judge that he looks too stupid, what I want you to do, Michael, is imagine, we've got a screen grab here. Imagine this, but then imagine a bunch of Capcom fighting tournament stickers all over him. Like one on his forehead, and his horns have the stickers wrapped around them, and there's ones on his nips, and there's ones on his belly buttons. How does that, just imagine that. Is that working better for you?
If he has a Fig Newton sticker over his eyes, then sure.
Okay. The Fig Newton branding?
Exactly.
Okay. That's what really makes an Oni.
This may be hard to see, but I do love me a Fig Newton.
I don't know how anybody could look at another human being and say, that guy loves himself some Fig fucking Newtons, if you know what I'm saying.
For real, though, Kage is just like, I want to like you, Kage, but you look so dumb.
He does look really stupid. It does look really stupid. It looks like he's wearing like a Halloween costume of, I don't know, the underbite. It's the kind of the underbite, and then I guess it's like, yeah, because the devil horns are really silly, like little, just like little beep beep.
It's also that they light up.
Yeah,
they're like a bright purple.
Or if they wanted to do that, and they wanted him to look like an Oni, shouldn't they have put him like coming out of the front of his forehead instead of out of the top of his head? Like, because that's, or maybe like longer, like like exactly like Hellboy in that trailer we saw, the big horned Hellboy, like
it looks
big
like
ass horns.
They're like
out.
the horns you get from like a store that light up.
Yeah. They're going to be red, and they're going to have a black headband that goes between them.
And he's got like Dracula teeth.
Yeah, little battery. And then I put in the Dracula teeth upside down, and now I'm Kage.
Exactly.
Oh.
I want to like it. God, he looks so stupid.
Well, I'll tell you what I want to like, and that is the fact that we're getting all of these new alternatives to Steam coming out. We talked about the Epic Game Store. So Steam is, 70-30 creator to Steam.
Yes.
Epic Game Store is like 80-20 creator to Epic Game Store. Well, apparently Discord's throwing their hat in the ring as well.
The fuck?
Where you can, I mean, Discord has been betaing like a game store for a while now, but they just announced that they're going to be doing 90-10.
Fuck, really?
Yeah. Like the developer gets 90% of what they made, and then 10% goes to Discord. They had a blog post that has this really good shade throwing quote. It's this quote: "Turns out it does not cost 30% to distribute games in 2018. After doing some research, we discovered that we could build amazing developer tools, run them, and give developers the majority of the revenue share." So that's a thing.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah. We'll see if it works out for them. I personally put my money on Epic because they got the money to just keep a store going like indefinitely.
Also, they already have a pretty good lineup.
In fact, the lineup is even better because in order to try to get people over to the store, they're giving away free games. From now until December 27th, you can basically just go get Subnautica off of the Epic Game Store, which if you've never played Subnautica, it's like a kind of a Minecraft survival game, but it's all underwater. It's really cool.
They're going the drug dealer route. I got it. First taste is free. Wink, wink.
Actually, they said they want to give away 2 free games every month until the end of 2019.
The fuck?
And that all you got to do is log in. I think that people, Michael, I don't think that people understand exactly how much money they're making off of Fortnite. Like, they're making fuck off, we can give away games for free money.
That's
off
pretty
of Fortnite.
intense.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, Subnautica launched this week on the PlayStation 4 for like $20. So,
and they're just giving it away.
And they're just giving it away on the PC.
Giving away hot dickens.
Yep. So, if you're interested in the underwaters, maybe go get that free Subnautica. By the way, I got to the end of Hades.
Oh, you did?
Well, I got to where it is programmed to.
Oh, okay.
And it literally, like, after beating the boss at the end of the second area in the game was like, so from there, there's no more game. Let's just pretend that you got killed, and now you're going back to hell. And Zagreus is like, Hades, I didn't even die, and I'm back here. What the fuck? And Hades is like, the game's not done yet. Let's just pretend like it's just hang out. It's gonna be fine. Be cool. So
I'm cool with this.
Which I really wanted to play more of. I'll tell you what, I haven't been interested in playing a lot more of ever, and that's For Honor. But hey, who
that's
knows?
Still a thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For Honor's, like, they just had a big expansion that came out, and they're in, like, season 6 or whatever. Like, again, I keep trying to reiterate this. Just because people don't play a thing don't mean that there ain't a whole bunch of people. Like, Rainbow Six Siege is still, like, huge. So,
oh, wow. There's dozens of them.
Yeah. But So by the time this podcast comes out, that will already have been talked about. But apparently, on December 20th, they are announcing some kind of Assassin's Creed crossover with For Honor, which to me is just the beginning of, Ubisoft's properties all eating each other in a desperate bid to become the one that Daddy Guillemot loves the most until it's just like Beyond Good and Evil, but it's got every other franchise inside of it. It's like, Beyond Good and Evil 3 also has the new Assassin's Creed game, and For Honor, and Rainbow Six Siege, and
hooray, I guess.
Trials? Question mark? Just Dance? You have to launch Just Dance through Beyond Good and Evil 3, and then you have to fly to the Just Dance planet and then execute Just Dance. And then
Far Cry 5 shows up, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we gotta let's hurry this shit up. Anyway, so you guys will know about what's happening with this before we do. I'll tell you another thing that you might know before anybody else does. That's the plot of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you manage to snag, apparently there's some free-range copies out in the wild right now.
Really?
And Tetsuya Nomura is out there being like, guys, please be fucking cool with this. Don't tell people what's going on. However, there is something fascinating about this. So, apparently, you can spoil some of the game, but the whole game isn't released because there is a secret movie and epilogue that is going to be essentially patched into the game after the official release date.
Huh.
And I can't tell if this was like a problem that had to be fixed the last minute or whether they intentionally left part of the game out so that if the street date got broke, nobody could spoil the actual end of the game before it hit store shelves, which is interesting because it does bring up the interesting question of that's a pretty good way to keep people from spoiling a game, right? On the other hand, if those servers ever go down, are you just going to be boned? Maybe you get the end of the game?
Maybe it'll be like one of those Game of the Year editions that just has it in it or something.
Oh, yeah, after it comes
down
out.
The line, who knows?
Once all the Ratatouille and Bugs Life DLC has been added into the game.
They need to figure out how to keep Kevin Spacey out of it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, continuing on the story of Kingdom Hearts, we got a new trailer, the final battle trailer for Kingdom Hearts. As we were talking about before we started, this is another one of those, like, the Kingdom Hearts trailers are divided into two categories. Hey, look, it's Disney characters. Have a lot of fun. And those are the ones I like. And then this one that talks about Destiny for 6 minutes and has a Skrillex remix of some Japanese song in it. And it talks about all of the darkness inside of man's heart and that I don't understand any part of. I don't know. Did you get anything off of this?
I don't know who edits these, but they should all be fired every single chance they get. Because I've never understood any of these trailers because they're either a lot of dialogue with no sound effects or a lot of sound effects with no dialogue.
Right.
And I don't fucking get why you keep doing that.
Well, you don't want to. I mean, like, if you're supposed to be listening to the song, Michael. You're not supposed to be listening to characters talk. You're supposed to be listening to the song. And then, as always, whenever it gets into the actual gameplay, it's just like a seizure-inducing fucking WarioWare mini-games collection.
Yeah, he's like breakdancing in the world of Rapunzel for some reason.
Yep. There's like a first-person shooter part, which I think is Big Hero 6 related, or
maybe. I'm not even sure.
Who could say? Anyway, we don't have that much time left. January 29th, right?
January is looking like it's got a lot of random games coming out in that month.
Yeah. Well, you get past the holiday glut. Speaking of gluts, I feel like we've already had like 8 Devil May Cry 5 trailers, and we got another one today. And it tricked me, Michael, because if you look at the name of this trailer on YouTube, it's Devil May Cry 5 / V trailer. And so my brain only just now put together this is the trailer about the character known as V and not 5, because then my brain was like, Devil May Cry 5, right? It's a Devil May Cry 5 trailer. V is 5, 5 is 5. It only was looking at one of those.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that at one point too.
Yep. I don't know much about V, but he seems like kind of interesting character.
He seems like a cool dude.
Yeah, it seems like he's got a lot of just like summoning a bunch of shadow monsters to do his fighting for him. And he just gets to walk around with a cane like a goth kid after art class.
He's pretty goth kitty looking.
Yeah, he's really goth kid
Like he looks
looking.
like a dude I went to high school with.
Yeah, he kind of looks like a teenage Adam Driver to me.
I can see that.
But in any case, he is. I don't know. I mean, this seems like a pretty cool trailer. I like Dante, and this guy seems all right. So that's 2 out of 3 that I can stand. So you
really fucking hate that dude.
I really don't like Nero, man. What can I say? I fucking hate Nero. Like,
I like Nero.
Yeah,
I think he's a nice dude.
I mean, everybody can have their opinions about things. Some people like jelly on their peanut butter sandwiches. But if you ask me if I want jelly on my peanut butter sandwich, I'm going to tell you no. If you got some bananas, I'll maybe take some of that. But otherwise, you can leave that sugary crap on the counter.
Fair.
Or you can play Devil May Cry 5, and you can play it however you want to.
Devil May Cry.
And that's in March. Anthem had a trailer for their $80 version that's like a story trailer for the Legion of Dawn, which is the group of mech dude ladies somethings that fought off the monsters back in the olden days, and then they became the Legion. And
so you say Dawn every time, but you specifically ruined the word Dawn for me.
Yep.
Because every time I just hear the word dong.
Sure.
Every fucking time.
It's the Legion of Dong, man. They're all about that dong. Yeah, but as near as I could tell, like this was a very kind of like cinematic, like story-based trailer, and then it ends with like Legion of Dawn edition, get access to the VIP beta, get the Light of the Legion weapon skins, get the Legion of Dawn armor packs, and it's like, oh, this is just like your bullshit $80 version of this game, isn't it?
It kind of ruins the sentiment of the trailer too.
Yeah. Where it's
like she sacrificed everything, but for $99.95 you can get this sweet ass armor and this cool gun. It's like, what the fuck, guys?
Yep. I don't know. I'm still so confused about Anthem because, boy, there's no reason why it couldn't be good. There's just no reason it couldn't be good, but it doesn't look very good.
I just still don't have any interest in it.
Yep, I gotcha. I hear you. We got another No More Heroes trailer for Travis Strikes Again. This is the Electric Thunder Tiger 2 trailer, kind of showing some of the gameplay that we've already seen with kind of a top-down, like a Marvel Heroes type of game almost.
A little bit. It reminds me of a lot of stick shooter ones that were coming out for a while.
Okay.
And it has a co-op mode as well, which
you can play as Batman in addition to Travis.
I want to like this game whenever it comes out.
We'll see.
I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Every time I see a gameplay of it.
It just reminds me that I don't think that Suda 51 should be allowed to make video games. I think it should be allowed to design video games and come up with ideas for video games, but like, because, okay, there's a good chance, Michael, that the gameplay that we're seeing here is just some subversive bullshit that's going to be like the first 20 minutes of the game, and then it turns out it's like a whole different type of game.
That'd be cool with it.
Possible there could be 99 levels in some bullshit tower that you've got to go up in this twin stick shooter, and one of those I'm interested in.
The No More Heroes is one of my favorite franchises. It only has 2 games.
I kind of wish that they would put them out on the Switch because I've never really played them.
I love them. I beat both 1 and 2 multiple times. They came out with them again on PS3 at one point. That's about it.
Oh yeah, I remember that. By the way, I'm sorry. We were watching that video and it ended, and it brought up a bunch of suggested videos based on all the crap that I watch on YouTube. Like there's Party Rock Anthem by LMFAO. If you guys haven't watched this week, I don't normally do this, but I don't know if you've seen this week. There's a guy named Mark Rober who's like this engineering guy.
Yeah.
And he made this package glitter bomb where he was tired of people stealing the packages off of his front steps, and so he made a package where when you open it up, it's got a centrifuge that just throws glitter everywhere, and then a fart bomb that blasts out fart smells, and then 4 cameras so that it'll capture your reaction when it happens.
It's pretty amazing.
It's awesome. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I saw it not too long ago.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing, actually. If you get a
good.
Chance, I do recommend watching it. It's kind of neat.
Pretty good.
And pretty ingenious.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are ingenious, maybe, question mark, Jump Force got an actual story trailer. Michael, do you want to take it away and tell the people about this? Because I don't understand it.
Sure. So, according to the story, is that a bad guy is fusing worlds together and trying to take over, and only the J-Force, that's literally their name. I don't know why. Which is basically kind of like the Time Patrollers almost.
Right.
Are helping the the Jump universe defeat evil to right wrongs and shit. And it's created characters as the same as those universe ones. You can learn different movesets, like shows people learning how to do the Spirit Bomb, shows different outfits.
They all look like
pretty interesting looking.
They look like action figures. They all look like shiny action figures.
I could see that.
Because they're not like super high resolution, but they're all real shiny. Yeah.
But I do like the idea a lot, especially because there's a lot of like really cool characters and a lot of cool moves that you could possibly learn. Like, I would love to just get a guy and only teach him fucking Kenshiro's moves and just all over everybody's asses.
How many Gokus do you think there will be? What percentage of the servers do you think will be Gokus?
At least 30%.
Okay.
Only because Dragon Ball isn't as popular as it used to be.
Okay.
But that's only because of that. It's going to be a lot of One Pieces and Narutos.
I see. I'll tell you what else is going to be a lot of. And that's fucking My Hero Academia, because fucking Midoriya is in this game, which is, I mean, yeah, like, that's cool.
Young Midoriya.
I'm still not going to really play it, but
I will. Because I want to.
I mean, like, I'll play it for the show. Look how shiny everything is. Everything's so goddamn. Are they using Unreal 4 and they've just got that shine thing like just jacked up to 11?
I think they are, like, actually.
Why is his hair so shiny? Come on, bro.
Reasons.
So let's see. Do you want to put down some money right now? How many months until they announce that All Might is also in the game?
I don't know. I'm still waiting for the JoJo characters, so that could go either way.
Yep. That's probably a good next one.
I hope All Might's in it, though. I like All Might a lot.
Yeah. I was just playing the My Hero Academia One's Justice or whatever game.
My One Justice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I like
fun.
All Might's so OP in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
By the time, I had to fight him with Bakugo, and it was like, oh man, this is where the game starts to get hard. And then I had to fight what's his name, the guy with the eyes, Izumi or Izu
Eraserhead.
Yeah, Eraserhead. And I had to fight him with the girl that pulls all the weapons out of her.
Momoko.
Okay, that sounds about right. And that fight was fucking hard.
It sounds like it.
Anyway.
Yeah, with All Might, with the levels where it's like you can get ringed out. If you do one Texas Smash, you can launch a motherfucker off that level so fucking fast.
Nice.
It's the best.
Nice. Okay, so let's see. We got a few quick funs before we leave. Well, no, one of these is not fun, and two of them are fun.
Okay.
Which would you like, fun or not fun?
Let's have fun, not fun.
Okay. So first, the fun. Hitman has brought back the Holiday Hoarders mission for Hitman 2.
Oh, sweet.
So if you've got the classic pack, it's already downloaded. But if you haven't, this is actually set in Paris. They dress the whole level up like Halloween, like Christmas. And there are two robbers that are based on the Wet Bandits, Harry Smokey Bagnato and Marv Slick Ganeff. And they're basically running around stealing presents from the Paris fashion show. And you have to kill them. Also, Santa's there. And if you find him, you can shoot him and take his clothes and dress up like Santa 47.
And he can teleport or some shit too, right?
Oh, yeah. No, he's like a mystical being. Like, he's not for realsies. Yeah. I think Amanda got really mad at me when I shot him in the face and took his gear. Yeah. So, anyway, if you've never played Holiday Hoarders, it's fun. It's in Hitman 2. There's not a lot of holiday stuff this year. I guess Monster Hunter did some stuff.
Yeah, they did something.
Frostpunk has a Christmas thing, but I
had no idea.
Ever want to play that again? All right.
And Killing Floor?
Killing Floor? Yep.
Yeah.
Killing Floor 2 has the Gary Busey seasons beatings or whatever. All right. This one is kind of a bummer, but it's also like a big question mark. I don't know why does Nintendo hate money so much, Michael? Why do they hate money so very, very much?
I don't get them either.
Remember when like the figures that you put on the Amiibos, there you go. How they would like run out of those and then it would take them for fucking ever to like make any more of them.
Yeah.
Well,
many people died for Amiibos.
You know, we had a thing where somebody asked, I think it was Reggie specifically, about like if we'd ever see an N64 mini, and he was like, "No, we basically made that console to bridge the gap between the Wii and the Switch, the NES Classic, and then we made the SNES Classic because everybody liked the NES Classic so much. And then we did the launch of the NES Classic so that people could actually get their hands on them. Well, apparently after this Christmas, like no mas, like they're not manufacturing any more SNES Classics or NES Classics. So if you want one, you need to get one. And before you come into the comment, person who's got a Raspberry Pi, I know, but it's pretty cheap to get one of these, and they're very nice. They've got a lovely form factor.
And they're super hackable, apparently.
Yeah, they're super, super hackable. And, you know, it's you can get both. You know what? Raspberry Pi and software and all that stuff, you can get all that for about $70 and put
That's
whatever
a nice
you want
case,
to on it.
at least.
Yeah. And even though, I mean, like, I got this Mega Drive case for my Raspberry Pi that's fucking super good looking, but
It is pretty cool.
like, hey, you know what? Some people just want. Some people don't even want to have to dick around with, like, you know, putting Linux on a thing and then installing a bunch of ROMs to it and like transferring some bullshit.
Yeah.
So I know it's easy, but sometimes just let them do what they want to. All right. And last but not least, I am so torn about the night before Metal Gear because I love Metal Gear. And Cam Clark on his YouTube channel basically got David Hayter to come over, and he rewrote The Night Before Christmas, but with a Metal Gear thing. And the two of them are reading it in the Solid Snake and Liquid Snake voices, and it's pretty amazing. Except that they're using the fucking camera microphone, and it sounds so bad, or not like so bad. But this is one thing where I want to hear the two of them in like the highest fidelity audio that I can get, you know?
I'm just glad David Hayter can still do the snake voice so easily. I was really afraid he would just stop doing it one day, but I'm glad he's, you know, able to do it for Smash Brothers again and doing this.
Yeah. I like the way that Cam Clark, like, just, he always has his underbite whenever he's doing Liquid Snake. Like his bottom teeth start showing. If you haven't watched The Night Before Metal Gear on Cam Clark's YouTube channel and you're any kind of Metal Gear fan, do yourself a favor and stop this video or podcast and go watch it immediately because it's pretty freaking awesome.
It's pretty amazing.
And with that, we're going to go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to do some questions. So everybody stick around, and we'll see you in a few minutes. And it's time for questions. Michael, are you ready for those questions?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. Mail at RageSelect.com is the email address to send your questions into. Remember that this is the last podcast, so any questions that you sent in, you may be the first question of 2019. It's a very special time to send in questions.
What is Saber?
What's that?
Wait, I thought we were playing Jeopardy.
No. Our first question comes in from Septum Sin versus the World, who says, greetings to you all in podcast land. This is your friendly Septum Sin wishing you all well during the upcoming holiday season. I've loved video games since I first started to play them on our old used Commodore 64 with games like Choplifter and Spelunker. I've always loved them, especially RPGs, though it seems over the years things are more and more different. I have a long backlog of games and frequently have difficulty with RPGs that I cannot understand right away. Like I've tried Xenosaga and the Persona series, but my mind has a much harder time processing them. I kind of feel sad as I return to the same things most times, like Fallout or Skyrim series, in the 1 to 4 hours that I have to, per week to play. I don't know why I have this change of mind. Maybe I'm getting old, or it's a 60-hour work week. Jesus. But my mind has a harder time processing the games I used to enjoy the most. Do you ever have a time where you look at a game and you say, I would have loved this 10 years ago, but now I don't know if it's worth my time? Any genres that you used to find fun that you don't find as fun these days? Again, great set of wishes for the holidays. Your patron, Septum Sin versus the World. That's pretty hefty, man. You taking on the whole world, and you're working 60 hours a week?
It's pretty intense, actually.
Jesus, man.
Like,
come on.
You poor bastard.
Maybe like Septum Sin versus like the Taco Bell down the street. I'm going to take you out, Taco Bell. So I've got a lot to say about this, but Michael, what about you? Do you have like either genres that you don't play anymore, or like things that you're like, I would have liked that when I was younger?
A lot of it is RPG stuff.
Yeah?
Like, RPGs, I don't have the time to really sink my teeth into them the way I used to.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, sometimes it's like you need to hang out with your friends in Persona to gain I don't fucking have time for that anymore. It's like I don't have time to rent the DVDs and like have the cat tell me I can't go outside kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had Persona 5 this whole time. I stopped at a certain point and then I never got back to it as much as I would like to. I just keep like like you said, like sometimes you don't only have so much time to play a game. And then with Red Dead 2, I would have enjoyed a lot more before my 40-hour work week, because now it's like all of these challenges. I'm like, I don't want to do any of these right now. I don't have time for them.
Yeah.
And Fortnite is a good example of like, yeah, if I was in high school, I would have adored Fortnite.
Absolutely.
But I am not in high school, and I do not have the time to put into Fortnite to become skillful enough to not die within 20 seconds.
Yep.
As well as a few fighting games, I think. Like my fighting game stuff, like Smash Brothers. I was a lot better at Smash Brothers in high school.
Yeah.
And I know that version of me could kick my ass at Smash Brothers now.
Hell, man, I used to play Counter-Strike when I was in my 20s. Like, I used to play Counter-Strike back on the PC back when it was in beta. But, yeah, I think that a lot of it is, I mean, like, man, I'll tell you what, Michael. It took me 3 or 4 stalled attempts to beat Persona 4. And it was because I would start playing Persona 4 and then like something else would come out and I'd be like, oh, I'm just going to go play this game real fast. Like I'm going to go marathon through this 12-hour game before I go back to the 60-hour game that I was playing before. And then like another game would come out, and I'd be like, oh, shit, I want to play that one. That was real quick. I'll play that one real quick. And by the time I got back to it, I kind of forgot where I was or, like, what I was doing.
Yeah.
There's, like, a lot of stuff about, like, oh, what were we? Were we in the middle of, like, investigating a thing to do the next heist with the Phantom? Man, what was I leveling up again? Was it straight? Do I need to go to, like, the burger barn, or do I, like, hang out? Which social links was I doing? And finally, it's like, I just need to fucking start this shit over. And it was
whose romance was I doing? I can't remember.
Right. And especially with Persona, because of the way that every day you have a choice to do stuff, and it's like you kind of need to have a focus about what you're doing. So for RPGs, I mean, it's one of the reasons why, and we are getting back to it in 2019. Witcher 3 is coming back in 2019, y'all. But it's one of the things kept me away from The Witcher was just like, you know, I can play 15 minutes of Overwatch. There's no point of playing 15 minutes of Persona. You're not going to do anything in 15 minutes of Persona, right? You're not even going to get into a fight half the time in 15 minutes of Persona. So what I ended up having to do with Persona, but you know, this isn't just a problem with this. So I had this problem back when I was even in my 20s with like Final Fantasy games.
Yeah.
So I'd play like 2/3 of the way through a Final Fantasy game and then just get like, I'm like, oh God, more random battles? All right, I got to go play something else as a palate cleanser. And then, of course, it'd be 2 months, and I'd forget what the fuck I was doing, and then I'd be like, well, I guess I got to start over. But, I mean, mostly it's those. It's like, I remember when I was a kid, you know, when I had a Super Nintendo, like, I had all the fucking time in the world. Like, you know, between getting out of school every day and having to go to bed, you had like 6 hours to fucking kill. And you could just do whatever the hell you wanted to. Once your homework was done, you'd have dinner, you know, at some point. But
yeah,
and like weekends were all for me, baby. Nobody's got anything on my weekend platter. It's one of the reasons I've actually been thinking about solo streaming Persona, just because if I have an obligation to play Persona, then I'll go play Persona. Except that I don't know if I could ever stand having. Even the Rage Select audience, I love you guys so much, but I know that some of you are going to want to backseat game the fuck out of my Persona.
Absolutely will.
And I just don't know that I can do that. Like, I don't know if I would have any fun doing that. Maybe I would. But in any case, I see, for me, I think that the biggest thing in my life is that what I like has, like, crystallized. And in a lot of the answer to this question, Septimson, is that I'm not really willing to invest time in games that are not exceptional and that don't cater to my taste, right?
Yeah.
Like Fortnite, by what you were just saying and everything that we've talked about, Fortnite is, for all intents and purposes, the best battle royale game out there. However, I don't want to play a battle royale game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I know that there are competitive multiplayer, like, I don't know. League of Legends may be like the best MOBA, but I don't want to play MOBAs. Like, I don't want to play MOBAs. I'm just not. Jason and I were talking about Red Dead Online, and it's like Red Dead Online could be like the best online riding a horse and being a cowboy game of all time, but I'd rather just play single player Red Dead because I don't have to worry. Because I get emotionally angry when some fucking random yahoo runs up to me when I'm in the middle of the quest and drags me off my horse or shoots me or does whatever because like they don't have any white listing or whatever in that game, so you just get killed wherever you are, right? And it's like I don't have any interest in that. Like, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not making a value judgment on it. What I'm saying is I'm not interested. The same way that I don't like watch romantic comedies. Like, when I want to watch a movie, I'd rather watch crappy Venom than like the best romantic comedy that came out this year.
I like Crazy Rich Asians.
Hey, you know what? It may be absolutely wonderful, but it's just like it's not in my wheelhouse. And at this point, like, as we all get so much fucking busier, as the world speeds up and we've got so much to do every single day of our goddamn lives from now till the grave, like, I just don't have time to invest in anything that is not the best and the best thing that I'm interested in. So that's really what it comes down to for me is, like, again, I think I said this earlier or on a different show or somewhere, but like there is somebody on Rage Select, there is some commenter on Rage Select that really, really wants me to play Fortnite, and I have to be like, I have tried and tried and I just don't really like it. Now, like in the case of New Vegas, I ended up really liking that eventually, but then again, I got distracted and stopped playing New Vegas. So like I didn't beat it. Like I liked it, but I didn't beat it because, there will be something new that comes out. I'm also a sucker for the new, so I don't go back very often.
Backtracking is hard and for me nowadays, like especially games where that's something you're supposed to do a lot.
Yeah.
Like Yakuza games, I'm never really been able to finish a Yakuza game half the time because of it.
Yeah, I get to the point in a Yakuza game where I'm just like, I don't care about your guitar. I don't care about your baby that's lost. I don't care about that cat. All I want to do is get to the end of the story missions.
Like, I still have your Fist of the North Star because I haven't been able to finish the main story because I keep going, this kid wants to play hide and seek, I guess.
Right. So, yeah, for me, it ends up being a combination of, one, it has to be the best of a thing, or it has to really, really connect with my tastes. And if it doesn't connect with my tastes, then, I'll give it a shot. But, But then on the other hand, you get things like Hades, right? Where like Hades was right up my alley. I had so much fun playing that over and over again. The week that we played Hades and Ashen, right?
Yeah.
And I never went back to Ashen, mostly because it was on the Xbox and I don't have that attached. But like, It also just didn't really hook me. Whereas Hades, it was just like, fuck yes, this is the shit, and I want to play the fuck out of it, and I want to try different combinations of different powers and different weapons and see what happens. And I finally kind of got the hang of it, and it was really, really fun. So, yeah, that's where I am, is just the question of what is it, and like, why is it good? Is it something new? Is it something interesting? And then I also definitely put a higher emphasis on games. I know that this is specific to me, and I know that there's a lot of people who disagree with this, but like, I still think that there is a value in having a really great 8 to 10 hour game. Like, games keep getting longer. Like, the new Assassin's Creed is like 25 hours long or something like that. You could beat an Assassin's Creed game in like 10 to 12 hours, right? Like, I don't remember Assassin's Creed 2 being 20 hours long. Was it 20 hours long? Am I
well, it depends on what you were doing.
Yeah.
Like, Assassin's Creed 2 for me was a really long game.
Huh.
But I did a lot of dumb shit with that game.
I don't know. Like, I remember South Park, The Stick of Truth was like 10, 12 hours long.
That one's not too long.
And that one definitely could have been like padded out to be way longer, but I was happy that they didn't do that. I was happy that they just kept it like this tight experience that you could just like get in and play through and get out.
Even some of the side stuff was pretty quick too.
Yeah. I mean, like, I did just about everything in that game, and it really didn't take that long.
Beat up Al Gore.
Yep. Yep. So yeah. And that like, I've complained about this a lot, but a lot of games these days, especially Ubisoft, put just like a lot of like, all right, go get 100 of these audio logs, and it's just like, no, thank you. if the number of collectibles is above, say, 10 and they're not on the map, I don't care. Like, I was talking with Matt yesterday about, like, how to get the optimal ending in Darksiders 3, and it's all, like, hidden and shit. And I was just like, well, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't, I don't know.
Like, I'm glad that Red Dead isn't like, you need to collect all the flowers to get the good ending, because I would never get the good ending.
Right. Well, and then, Red Dead's kind of a perfect example. I don't know. See, Red Dead to me was long, but that length I felt like was actually integral to the story, because it's almost like you're watching this. A lot of times in video games, I feel like things that take a long time in the real world get accelerated for the point of story, right? Is that you just see, like, the whole dynamic of a thing change over the course of, like, 10 hours when it should take, like, weeks to change. Whereas in Red Dead, it was so long that, like, as the game went on and there was this kind of oppression to it, like, once things start going in a certain direction, we were just like, oh my God. But in a lot of cases, you got to make a really good case for a really long game, Yeah. Hell, I was looking at, when I was putting up the news, I was looking at, there's one of the games that was nominated at the Game Awards, and it's like a phone game. It's called Florence. Is that the name of it? It's called, like, Florence. And it's like the story of a woman and a man falling in love. And by the end of the game, it made me cry. And it was 2 hours long. And everybody's like, oh, you got to play it. And I was like, no, thank you. No, I like, that's could be the best romance game of all time. I'm just not that interested in it. The same is true, I feel like, this year of Celeste. Everybody fucking loves Celeste. Like,
oh yeah,
and it's just like a platformer. Like, it's just like a Super Meat Boy style. Get to the other side of them. I mean, maybe I didn't play it long enough, but it was just like, wow, this is boring. Like, there's no enemies. It's just like dying over and over again as you fall in a pit because you didn't time the jump correctly for the thing. And I was just like, I don't really give two shits about this, And again, I guess I was on, like, Polygon, and they were talking about, because they put Red Dead 6th on their list of games of the year, and, like, they put Florence as, like, number 3, and they put Celeste as, like, number 4, and I was just like, I mean, I haven't played Florence, so maybe I'm missing it out, but, like, Celeste didn't do anything for me, and it may be a perfectly functional game, but I'm just like, I'm not into 2D platforming for that amount of time. Like, it could be the best. I mean, like, I don't want to play Super Meat Boy, and I'm not saying it's a bad game. It's just I don't want to play that style of game. I'll play, like, Rayman, but not that. So
it's just strange.
Yeah. I mean, it's just everything's got to line up. Like, I know the games that I'm really interested in. I know the games that I'm not interested in. And nowadays, the big thing is that I kind of know when I see a game, oh, I'm interested in that, or oh, I'm not, or I'm somewhere in the middle. So, yeah. Hope that answers your question, Septon. Maybe the way to go for you is stop playing games for a little while, or go find a game. Maybe you just haven't found the right game. Like, I feel like when I find a very special game, that's when I, like, start playing, and then I turn around and 8 hours have gone by, and I'm just like, oh shit, I haven't moved or smoked or gone to the bathroom or anything, like, for hours. I've just been like,
Yeah, when Spider-Man came out, I did nothing for basically 2 days straight.
Yeah.
I remember I woke up and then I started playing, and it was like midnight. I'm like, I don't remember eating the day.
Yeah. So I think that maybe what you're missing is you just don't have one of those games in your life. And maybe if, the stuff that you're talking about, maybe, like, go look up Divinity Original Sin 2. That game is 60 hours. It's kind of an old school kind of Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Nights style game. Maybe give that a shot. Maybe you'll like that. Let's see. Brandon writes in and says, hello, Sir Jeffrey and Michael. Brandon here with a quick and easy question. Jeff, you used to play with an inverted controls, and I was wondering, how did that even start? I tried it with a game on easy, and I played like the Game Grumps, but I still progressed in the game and not just scream at it like an asshole. Anyway, thanks for all the work you put in. You're so much better than those clowns at Let's Plays. Than those clowns at Let's Plays. Okay,
although I said I played it like the Game Grumps because he means that they played it poorly.
Oh, okay. Your patron, and that's from Brandon. You do uninverted, right?
Yeah, I've done uninverted pretty much my whole life.
Okay, so here's the thing you have to remember, right? First off, I think this works in a bunch of different ways, right? So when you press down, you look up, right?
Yeah.
So imagine a camera, all right? Imagine a video camera on a tripod, right? And the tripod has a handle, and that handle makes, that if you manipulate that handle, it'll turn it left and right, or it'll make the camera go up and down. If you want to make the camera look up, you push down on that handle to tilt the camera up. So you're pushing down to tilt up, and then you pull up to look down. That's one way that I've heard it suggested. The other way to remember
is airplane controls.
Airplane controls, yeah. Is that for the longest time, the first person viewpoint was like pretty much playing games. And so playing games was where you saw first person. When you played like F-16 Falcon or Orbiter or some of those old ass like flight sims, you were playing it with flight sim controls, and flight sim controls are pull back on the stick to go up, press forward on the stick to go down. That's where it came from. Like the other thing to remember is that like, because that mouse then translated into being the mouse that you used for your looking around in first person shooters. Because I mean, like I started first person shooters with the arrow keys and control and alt and space and shift, right? Doom.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until Terminator Future Shock that made the WASD plus spacebar.
Oh,
that was like
I did not know that.
I actually watched a little YouTube documentary on this, and apparently, like there was a competitive Quake guy that was the first person to map his controls like that.
Oh,
and I'm pretty sure that whoever it was that made Terminator Future Shock, which Terminator Future Shock is a badass game, ported that they started using that control scheme as well, and then it started filtering down to becoming like the way that a first person shooter controlled. Because I remember it being really awkward at first because I was used to strafing was a modifier. So like when you're playing Doom, you're using forward, backwards, turn left, turn right. The control button would shoot. The alt button, you would hold it down to strafe left and right.
Oh, okay.
So it was weird to then go to like, wait, where are the turn buttons? What do you mean there's just strafe buttons? I move the mouse to turn? What the fuck is this bullshit? And then to finish out the story, all that was solved by the Oculus DK2 because when I was using a mouse and a keyboard, I was playing Half-Life, or I played a bunch of different things in the Oculus, but like suddenly the mouse was like, pulling back to look up and then having my neck looks up. There was a disconnect between my hand and my head, and it just didn't feel. It felt weird, and so I was just like, "Fuck it, I guess I'm doing this." Because when I went to E3, that was still when I played inverted, and I have to go up to the stations where they're demoing games and be like, "How do I invert these controls?" And they're just like, "Oh, fine." The first thing I would try to do on every station was invert my controls, and I'm sure that when I left, then some poor asshole that came after me was like, "Oh, you what son of a bitch inverted these controls?" And some of them at E3 didn't have inversion because they were builds, right? They were like test builds. But yeah, that's the story. Is it used to be flight sims, and then also it made sense in my mind. Pull back, look up, push forward, look down.
Yeah, I would play games that sometimes did it, but I always just sucked at it every time. My brother knew how to do inverted, so I would give him the controller whenever it forced me to do something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how to do this. And he's like, okay. And then he would do that for me.
Let me ask you a question. If you play a game, like Battlefield, right? Do you uninvert the plane controls?
I just started doing that not that long ago.
Okay.
Because before that, I actually would feel fine doing the inverted.
So like when you're on the ground, uninverted. When you're in a plane, inverted?
Yeah, I was fine at first that way.
Yeah.
But then I don't know what game started it, but one day I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't fly inverted. I have no idea why.
Yep.
And so I just turned it off one day.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, this is much better. And I left it like that since.
Ever since I changed my control, they got to be the same. I can't make them different anymore.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the one that really messes me up, though. The one that I guess I understand kind of why they're doing it, because it's the same thing with like the camera control. Or like when you want to look left, you like push the push the handle on the tripod to the right, to turn the camera left. But like a bunch of Japanese games have that shit turned on by default, where it's like when you hit right on the analog stick, and then it literally like turns your camera to the left. Like it literally moves the camera right around you, that then makes your viewpoint go to the left. And like, I swear, whenever a game does that, I have to turn it off. But then after I turn it off, I'm still just like, did I make a wrong decision? Because this doesn't feel right either. Like now I hit left and they look left, and like, but this doesn't feel right. Do I need to turn it back on? And then I turn it back on, and I'm like, no, this feels bad too. Like I don't even know. I don't know what to do anymore.
I think tank controls were really bad about that sort of thing too.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, but at this point, our controls are pretty much standardized. I mean, when was the last time you played an FPS where clicking in the stick was how you went into iron sights, right? Remember, I used to be like, is it L2 or is it click in the stick for iron sights? Like,
I don't remember the last one I did that with.
Yeah, I'm just glad that we're mostly the same off of
luckily
most game types. Kian Not Keith writes in and says, "What is up, Jeff and Michael? So I told you that I listened to the oldspill.com podcast because I'm a weird person that enjoys nostalgia." I don't think that's weird. I know you won't remember talking about it, but you brought up Ghost Trick, the Phantom Detective, and had a good time with it. I actually wrote a review for that back when I was on Spill. Hearing this 7 years ago, I bought the game and loved it. So with that in mind, I decided to pick it up again and realize that I still love this game. It's fun, quirky, and weird with the same charm as the Ace Attorney games, but then I was watching reviews and retrospectives on it, and it did not sell very well, which I understand why it's kind of a small audience who would enjoy the game outside of Japan. We see this a lot with obscure Japanese games. Rarely do we get games like Ace Attorney series that blow up and hit big. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten that Layton versus Ace Attorney game if it wasn't for Level 5 International America connected a Facebook poll, and people really wanted it. So my question is, what is an obscure game or game series that you think deserves some love from people? Mine would probably have to be Mercenary Wings, The False Phoenix. It's a grid-based tactics system RPG. I picked it up on the Switch because I love tactics games. Though it's not perfect, I think it should be recognized as a fun tactics game. That reminds me of another obscure game, Final Fantasy Tactics. Thanks for answering your low patron, Kian Not Keith. Final Fantasy Tactics, Kian Not Keith, is not an obscure game.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Fucking everybody knows about that. I'll tell you what's a goddamn obscure game, Michael. That's Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced A2.
Okay, that's fair.
Not many people have played, but I played the fuck out of both of those games. Did you ever play Tactics Advance on the GBA?
I did, actually. My friend had it. It's
an interesting game. Like the way that the judges, because it takes place in the Fabula Crista Novalis universe.
Yeah.
No. That's the 13 universe. It takes place in the Ivalis with the bunnies, where 12 is. With the bunnies and the lizards and stuff. And like the judges. And so you'll get into a fight, and it's like, judge says no magic. And you're like, what? Half of this party is magic.
It's like, well, I'm fucked. Fun fact about Ghost Trick, though.
Yeah.
When it was coming out, they asked a bunch of webcomic artists to make special comics involving Ghost Trick.
Oh.
And one of my favorites was the Dr. McNinja one, because what happens in it is that, like, it's one of those things where it's like Dr. McNinja is about to get assassinated by some guy, but if I do all these cool things, I can cause it to where he doesn't get shot. But what happens is that the second he moves, Dr. McNinja loses his shit and starts destroying his office. He was like, there's a ghost in here. And he's just like, well, I guess that works too.
Yeah, Ghost Trick is about, I forget what the main character is, he's like a loan shark or something.
No, yeah, something like that.
And he gets shot in the very beginning. And then like he ends up like, basically he's a ghost, and he ends up like it's weird because each scene is like a vignette that is playing out, and you have to use your ghost powers to like manipulate objects, and you can like rewind time and then move it back forward to like drop the paint can to make the guy go what, and then the person can get away from them. And it's a really fun little puzzle game. Like, I'm really kind of sad they never made any more of it.
It didn't do very well, like you said.
I'm sure
there's a Easter egg for it in a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, Marvel's Capcom 3. Phoenix Wright has a costume that's his color scheme.
Oh, it's the red, black, and white.
Yeah, and there's a Phoenix Wright Easter egg in that game, actually, if I remember correctly. But yeah, he's right about the Professor Layton thing versus Phoenix Wright.
Mm-hmm.
When I went to a GameStop, they literally had only one copy of it in the entire store.
Wow.
And that was the day it came out.
Yeah, man, I want to go back and play this. I really want to stream this game. Like, I wonder.
It was really interesting.
I don't remember how much touchscreen stuff there was.
That's a lot because it's how you pick where you're doing the things. But yeah, there's a lot of webcomic artists. I don't remember most of them, but like I said, I always remember the Dr. McGinger one only because he loses his shit the second he moves.
All right.
But I guess my answer for this one would be the Zero Escape games, which I really like.
You don't think that they're getting enough attention?
Well, I think for some people they don't, because a lot of people don't even know they exist still.
Yeah.
The same with I think Elite Beat Agents was one that did pretty well at first, and then no one remembered them afterwards.
Motherfucker. If Elite Beat can suck all 16 of my puppet dicks because I want a new Aso Tateki Oendon game for the 3DS because Oendon was always a much better game than Elite Beat Agents because it had fucking catchy as shit J-pop in it.
Oh, okay.
And
that's
like
fair.
And that same wackadoo story bullshit. And the first one was good because they were just because Aso Tateki Oendon basically means like cheer squad Oendon. And so, do you know about this game? Oh my god,
I think so. I just don't remember it.
This is a game that I love with all my heart. That never really got it. I don't think it ever got even an American release. Like, I think I played it on a hack ROM on a R5 card on my DS or something.
I wouldn't
like
be surprised.
But like, yeah, these guys are like this cheer squad, and I love it. I think it's the same as Elite Beat Agents, where like
this fucking thing, yeah,
people are having trouble, and then they show up and they're just like, go, you can do it, and they just do these little dances behind them, and every stage is a fucking crazy little stage of people trying to do things in the world, and these guys are down on the bottom screen just like cheering them on. And then the second one, let's see if I can find the second one. There was a girl squad, and then it was like the girl squad versus the guy squad, and then the end of that one was like there's a meteor heading for Earth, and they all joined forces to get all the people that they've cheered on to all use their positive energy to like reflect the meteor from the Earth. Michael, I've told this story before. I'll tell it again. I had that ROM. And I beat every single song in both games on the hardest difficulty level. We're talking like
which is insane,
right? Except for one, except for that meteor stage. I think it was the meteor stage at the end of the second one. And I was in an airport. I was waiting for a plane, and there were all these empty seats. And I had my bag sitting beside me, and I was in this stage, and I had my headphones on, and my eyes were glassy, my pupils were dilated, and I'm just... And this motherfucker walked up to me, and I was doing better than I ever had, and he was like, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, excuse me, and I paused, and I was like, yes? And he's like, can you move your bag? And I was like, there are seats everywhere. And he was like, yes, but we want to sit here. And I was like, okay. And so I just picked up my bag and like walked somewhere else and was just like, fucking sit there, I guess, if you have to. Unpaused that game and lost immediately. It was just like fucking lost, like fail, like, you know, that Scott Pilgrim when it's like bad.
Awful, horrible.
Like, why can't they make this like? I guess, you know, but they have this thing on the Switch where like they don't want to make touchscreen only games, because they want you to be able to play it in docked mode. And this doesn't really. I don't know how much this works as like not a touchscreen game. Like, we just got done playing the Persona 5 rhythm game, and I don't like it when it's on a controller. Like, the tapping really works better. But yeah, I used to take this shit with me everywhere that I went. That's one answer. Of many. I
think some of the other, they're not really obscure so much as they're Japanese only games.
Yeah.
Which I was a big fan of. They're called the Great Battle Series.
Okay.
That I think Matt Frank would appreciate this answer. It's a series of games that stars a Kamen Rider, an Ultraman, and a Gundam.
Okay.
As SDs. And they're always, and each one is a different time frame, or each one comes out in a different time frame. Like there's a Super Nintendo one, there's a PlayStation one, that so forth and so forth. And it's always that era's Gundam, Kamen Rider, or Ultraman.
Okay.
So there's a Gundam Wing one. There's a one with the God Gundam. The last one that came out was a PSP game with the Destiny Gundam.
Okay.
And the Kamen Rider Decade and that Ultraman of that time frame. They're all a lot of fun because each one of them is kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're a lot. Sometimes they're platformers. Sometimes they're these weird shooters. And they're always just batshit insane, and I love them for that reason.
Okay.
But they only come out in Japan. I never understand why.
That's interesting. Thinking about Nintendo, I really wish that the Advance Wars series would come back.
Yeah,
I fucking loved Advance Wars.
Those did really well. I had a lot of stories of high school when I played it for the DS. Mm-hmm. We used to play it like crazy in the cafeteria that we got in trouble for it.
Yeah, there was actually like a game that was kind of like that came out. I tell you what, they also did. Actually, there was a new game that came out this year that was in the Shining Force series. It was an old Genesis franchise. Yeah. I remember really loving that old Genesis game. That I feel like there was the first one and the second one, and it was a tactics game, and I really liked it. I'm trying to think of other games. You know what game I don't feel like got enough love and attention that was really kind of weird and interesting was, and I understand why, but Tokyo Mirage Sessions, Sharp FE.
That didn't do as well as I hoped it would.
That was a bizarre game. In fact, there's a lot of NES, I guess this one isn't NES, but I also think that Fatal Frame has been kind of shafted. That Fatal Frame has gotten the whatchamacallit, Silent Hill treatment, right? Like,
oh yeah,
Fatal Frame 2 was good. Fatal Frame 3, I never really hunkered down with Fatal Frame 3. I'd like to see a new Strider game. They had that Strider game that came out about 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, that one wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It's for the PS4. Mm-hmm. I think I have it for my PS4.
I tell you what I'd love to see more of is some more goddamn actual Metroidvania, Castlevania games.
I'd love that. Well, I hear there's a lot of indie ones that are getting made.
Oh, well, sure.
Constantly.
I just want actual Castlevania games.
Oh, no, absolutely.
All the GBA and DS ones were amazing. So.
I know this isn't obscure, but I want another Bionic Commando really badly.
I can see that. I tell you, you know what? You know what I think is ready for a comeback? Wing Commander. You know what I think specifically? Wing Commander Privateer. The Privateer side of Wing Commander, yep. The Privateer 2 had Christopher Walken in it.
I did not know that.
Yep. Or, if Privateer is too old for everybody, how about Descent Free Space? Or no, not Free Space, Freelancer. There was this game. Have you ever played Freelancer?
No.
Freelancer is interesting because it was a space combat game. I'm sure a lot of people know exactly what I'm talking about, but it was a space combat game that was out for the PlayStation or the PC. It was actually part of a franchise that was. I think this might have been a Chris Roberts. Was this Chris Roberts? Yeah, it was Chris Roberts. Digital Anvil was like a local company that was making. It was like Freelancer, and then there was Starlancer, and so Starlancer was like a first-person Star Combat game, but Freelancer was a like you use. I don't know if this is a modded version of it. So you would go around and you would get stuff, and you would go out, and then you would use your mouse and keyboard to kind of like fly around the universe. And you could like trade, and you could kind of zoom between waypoints. And it was really cool. Like, it was really kind of ahead of its time, and especially because it was a space combat game that didn't require you to have a flight stick to use, because you kind of just used a mouse and a keyboard to play it. But it was really fun. I remember liking the fuck out of it, liking just kind of tooling around in it. In fact, there's like a lot of mods for the original that I think supposed to like. There was a big empty chunks of universe in this game that were obviously unfinished that they went back in and actually they actually finished. But I'm trying to see if I can find some of the actual like space combat. Yeah, so you can fly around and blast on stuff. I don't know. I really like this game. It's like one of those games that I feel never got. I mean, like, the people that know about it really like it, and if it hasn't already become clear, I'm real mad, Michael, that space combat games have now become like Star Citizen or Elite Dangerous, that there's not just like some fucking Wing Commander games where you could just go out and be like, bow, 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 bow,
Or
or
some Star Wars ones.
some TIE Fighter, yeah.
Like, yeah, TIE Fighter, X-Wing.
Yeah.
I used to play this once, but I think it was X-Wing Alliance or something on my PC. I played the shit out of that.
Was it the one where you had the Corellian, the transport?
Yeah.
It was like not the YT-3000 or whatever.
And you could create like a series of like computer battles.
Yeah.
That you could just like pick whatever ship you wanted, but have like armies on each side. That shit was fucking fun as shit.
Yeah. And like all of our consoles now have flight sticks on them, right?
Yeah,
like
they're so much more powerful than that one fucking old PC game.
Yeah.
But we still don't have them. It's very frustrating.
Bring back Wing Commander. Stop with the Star Citizen horseshit where it's like, Star Citizen, the game's so powerful, you must have a high-end PC to play it. And I'm like, can you guys just make some fucking, like, jamming around in a spaceship games? Not like Elite Dangerous where you have to, like, learn how to cut off your hyperspace in time to, like, get into orbit. I mean, like, I love Kerbal Space Program and shit, but, like, come on, guys. You can do better than that. Like, sometimes you just want to go out there and blast on some pirates, right?
Yeah. There's one game I guess I don't know if it's obscure, but it was for a lot of people I knew didn't know it existed, which is the Toomba games.
Oh, yeah.
Toomba 1 and 2, which I thought were fantastic games that they just never did anything ever again with. The same with Blasto, which I thought was a fun concept that they never did anything with ever again.
I know it's not obscure, but can we please have Splinter Cell back? I would like to have Splinter Cell back in my life.
When was the last Splinter Cell?
Blacklist.
Damn, that's a while back.
Yep. Every year at Ubisoft, I'm always there in the little Rage Select E3 chat, like, come on, Splinter Cell, come on. And this year they put Sam Fisher into Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Oh, that's right.
And I was like, ooh,
so close though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
It's like what they did the Mega Man for a long time, where there was Mega Man themed everything, but there was nothing Mega Man coming.
But there was
out.
there was not an actual Mega Man.
So
game.
frustrating.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. We probably got time for a couple more of these. Wow, we're really taking our time on these.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think some of these are quicker though. Let's see. This person says, Mr. K says, "Hey, Rage Masters, I wanted to ask about the mini PlayStation. You seem to mean the PSX Classic.
Yeah.
Seems everyone hates the mini console, and I don't intend to ever really get it. But with certain statuses and things like Lego selling for well over $100, do you think that the PlayStation Mini is worth $100 as just a mantelpiece ornament, which can also be used every now and then as a legit console? Thanks." And that's from Kay. Kay, actually, I can tell you that I did buy one for one very specific reason. We talked about it a little bit last week. First off, it's a really nice little piece of equipment. I don't think it's worth $100, but it's definitely cool looking. But the day that it came out, they found nothing opens. Nothing opens. There's even a little
makes me sad.
aux port in the back that has like a thing that looks like it'll open. All you'll do is rip that tab off. There's nothing under there. There's nothing even there.
It really doesn't move. What the fuck?
Yeah. Like it's got the thing in the back where there was a little port that you could open up. But
yeah, that's where the chips and the Game Sharks and stuff would go.
Day one, somebody found out if you plugged the right keyboard in there and hit escape when you're playing a game, you could totally get access to the debug menu, switch it between PAL and NTSC, do whatever you want to. And as of right now, Michael, I believe that they have already, then they left like the public key on the board for that thing. And there's currently like a mod community that is already built up. That's like just put whatever PSX ROMs you want on a flash drive. You have to load all this bullshit on this flash drive and plug it in, and like you're good to go because it's not online, right? They can't update the firmware for this motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
because it doesn't have any connectivity. So they put it out as is, which means that in fact, I think there's a project currently called like Bleem Stream or something. It's named after Bleem, the old PC PlayStation emulator, to make like a new custom front end for it. To like load your own ROMs on here and do whatever the fuck you want to. This thing was hacked like in 2 days.
That sounds about right.
So while I don't think spending $100 on it is worth it, I do think that eventually it's going to be the equivalent of kind of a low grade Raspberry Pi. I mean, kind of like the NES Classic and the SNES Classic.
Yeah.
They've gone ahead and hacked. You can't stop the fucking signal, man.
No.
Hack the planet. But it is a little pricey. Oh, but you know what? Actually, this question came in at the beginning of the month. So Kay here might already know this, but like then there was also a lot of places that are giving them out half price, so they're only $50. And I'm like, for $50. I mean, like,
Actually, yeah, that's not bad. Actually,
because it also comes with the 2 controllers, like the 2 old PSX controllers,
which is pretty good.
Which is okay. I mean, the PSX controllers suck because they don't have analog sticks, and the
I didn't have a DualShock for the original PlayStation.
Yeah,
like at all. Like I didn't get one until the PS2, like period.
when we bought Gran Turismo, the day after we bought Gran Turismo, we went out and bought DualShocks because fuck it. So like, yeah, you're used to this.
This brings back memories. This non-analog
the PSX controller.
This poor man thing that happened to me as a kid.
It's mostly
That's why I knew Metal Gear Solid didn't need the DualShock because I didn't have a DualShock at all.
It's really the L2 and R2 buttons that are the weirdest because
this brings back so many memories. You have no fucking idea.
The L2 and R2 buttons are just the same size as the L1 R1 buttons. Like,
yeah, that's how it was.
Yeah,
that's just what it was back in the day.
Well, that's why all those old like From Software games like Kingsfield or whatever, how like you would turn with the shoulder buttons, right? And then like the D-pad would strafe.
This was great for Marvel vs. Capcom 1, by the way.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because I still have my copy of Marvel vs. Capcom 1.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. This is how I played PlayStation games. I didn't have an analog stick because I wasn't fancy.
No, I had this for a while, but then, like I said, Gran Turismo came out. I needed that.
I had a turbo button one too.
Oh wow!
so we could not have to worry about Metal Gear Solid.
It's also so much lighter than a modern controller. Like modern controllers got all them like motors and other buttons
lights
and shit in it. Yeah. All right, JD,
so I never got to play Ape Escape, unfortunately.
Wait, that's why you never got to play Ape Escape?
Yeah, because Ape Escape needed a DualShock.
Did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the first game that really used it.
All right, JD writes in and says, "Hey Jeff and Michael, first I wanted to respond to something brought up a few shows back about preferring a certain style of game because of being exposed to it at a certain age. I think this really makes sense. For instance, I greatly prefer 3D platformers to most game genres, and I attribute it to Super Mario 64 being my first 3D gaming experience as a child. Just thought it was an interesting observation. On to the actual question. With Joker being announced as the first Smash Brothers DLC, I decided to give Persona 5 a chance. And strangely enough, I'm really enjoying it. It's weird because I tried playing OG Persona on the PlayStation 1 and Persona 4, but just couldn't get into them. Can you think of any franchise where initial installments didn't hook you, but later installments did? Thanks for all the hours of entertainment. Have an awesome holiday. That's from JD. So, games where the first one was meh.
Assassin's Creed.
Damn it, motherfucker.
I hated Assassin's Creed 1.
I didn't hate it, but boy, it got repetitive.
Well, that's the reason I hated it, because I was just like, this is just some bullshit after a while.
Yeah.
And then, like, because there's so many things that were just, like, nonsense in that one.
Yeah.
It's like, you run. Oh, he's suspicious. It's like, dude, I just want to fucking get to an area right now. Like, there's a lot of that stuff in part 1. And then part 2 was leaps and fucking bounds better than part 1.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
I didn't get into Final Fantasy until the Super Nintendo era. I couldn't. The first one, I just couldn't do it. And I've never been able to get back into Dragon Quest. I'm trying to think of ones like games where it's like the.
I guess technically Metal Gears are like that. I wasn't like I wanted the first Metal Gear and I just couldn't.
Metal Gear Solid or Metal Gear 1?
Metal Gear 1, like the Nintendo one. Because that's the time period for us, like
right.
American wise. Because Metal Gear Solid was like, it was like, God damn, this is amazing.
Right.
It was like, this is like a movie.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. There's got to be like. I'm trying to think specifically of the Xbox because I've been pretty solid on PlayStation. Street Fighter. Street Fighter 1
is great. Like
is
that,
straight up garbage.
It's the worst thing ever.
It's so fucking bad. But then you know what? It's like I like Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter 3. And not 4 or 5 or 1. Like,
the Soul Calibur series is like that.
Yeah,
I didn't like. I couldn't really get into the original Soul Calibur, and then when 2 came out, I'm like, this is fucking cool.
I didn't start playing Call of Duty until Modern Warfare, until 4.
That happened to a lot of people.
Yeah, the World War II genre was just so
saturated,
maxed out by that point that I was just like, ugh.
Like there was Medal of Honor games that were just different sections of World War II because there's so many of them.
Yeah,
like this is the Pearl Harbor one. It's like, okay, cool, I guess.
Ooh, I'll tell you what. Last year on our sequential, I don't know if it was last year or we played it last year. But Amanda and I played Evil Within 2.
Oh, okay.
I think Evil Within 2 is so much better than Evil Within 1. Like, so much better than Evil Within 1. Like I couldn't get into Evil Within 1. Everybody kept telling me how brilliant it was, and I was just like, I ain't seeing that. I ain't seeing what you're putting down. So.
Persona is a good answer, though, to be honest. Persona 3 was when I got into it, because Persona 1 and 2 were just too hard for me.
Yeah.
But 3 was like, oh, what is this really cool thing?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that by the time I started hearing about Persona, I wasn't... I think 4 was really my jumping off point. And even then, I beat 4, but like I said, it took me like 5 tries, and I haven't beat 5 yet. And I think I tried playing 3 on the PSP, but again, I was just like,
Final Fantasy 7 was like that for a lot of people, was their jumping on point for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because Final Fantasy 7 had that crossover appeal, right?
Yeah.
Because like people who didn't even play video games were just like, what the fuck is that?
What is this cool giant ass sword anime thing that's going on here?
Yep.
Not realizing what they were walking into.
Oh,
they're like, you get to drive a motorcycle, though. I'm like, cool.
I got 2 more answers. Even though it's not really a franchise anymore, pour one out for it. But I didn't give a shit about Burnout 1 or Burnout 2. But Burnout 3 Takedown, woo! That was, man, I played the crap out of that game. Also, Saints Row.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Holy shit.
I mean, I played Saints Row 2. I never played the first one. I played the second one, and it was like, it's just like look how fucking edgy we are. And then 3, and it was just like, okay, all right, I get you, Saints Row 3. Like, this is something special.
3 was amazing. I guess Twisted Metal 2 was like that for me.
Yeah.
Because Twisted Metal 1, I was like, Twisted Metal 2, I'm like, this fucking shit is amazing.
Yeah.
And then it failed me right after that.
Oh, you know what? Team Fortress kind of also falls in that category, because I never played TF Classic or
I've
TF1.
never either.
But I did play some TF2 for a little while. Not a long time, but a little while. So, yeah, okay.
I'm sure there's another one, but I just can't think of it right now.
Let's see if we can tear up. We got about 5 more minutes. Let's see if we can tear up some more of these questions. Danger Dave writes in and says, "Hi to Jeff and Michael. On a recent podcast, you discussed how the emotional trauma of the first act of the movie Up left you unable to relish the remainder of the film. Totally did. Cried my eyes out like a little baby. However, many moons ago, I recall you saying that Casablanca may be the greatest movie ever made. I find myself agreeing with you on both points. Okay, but that final scene with Rick in the rain saying they'll always have Paris, damn, that's tragic and powerful. So I guess I'm wondering if the proper formula for media that wants to throw a lachrymose haymaker is to have the sting be ever in the tail. Is $1 Million Baby better than Bambi for this reason? What do you reckon?" Strong work, lads. Danger Dave. I actually would argue that $1 Million Baby is 100 times better than Bambi, mostly because I don't give a shit about that deer and his fucking rabbit friend. Like, fucking get out of here. Get out of here, Bambi. Like, I don't give a shit.
As a person who lives in Texas who had to hunt a lot, I think deer is delicious, and Bambi does not make me sad.
Hey, you know what? If you want to have a bunch of animals doing shit, how about that Lion King? He had a dad, but there's like stakes. Like, something happened. It wasn't just like he got shot by a hunter. Like, he got betrayed by his fucking brother.
Like, shit happened.
Yeah. And then I had to leave and make friends with a pig and a meerkat. And no worries. And then I'm going to fuck my sister or whatever. Cousin. Nala's his cousin, right?
I don't even remember that, if that was true or not.
Anyway. Yeah. So, yes, Danger Dave, I've actually had a project that I've wanted to do for a long time, where I take Up and recut it and start Up take out all the beginning part with the sad part, right? And start the movie out of him. I'm a grumpy old man, right? I'm a grumpy old man. I'm eating my breakfast. Oh, I don't like you guys. And then like just being mad, and you're just like, ha, grumpy old man. And then the kid's coming up, and he's like, that kid is irritating him. And then like the balloons, and then he goes up in the air, and you're like, wow, balloons, adventure, excitement. And then like halfway through the movie, like have the kid be like, why are you so grumpy? And then have him, I'll tell you. And then flash back to the thing where, have the dog get in there as well. Like have the characters established, have their thing established. And then at some point have the kids say, well, why? You know what? Motherfucker, Coco did that. Coco did that. It started out with an adventure, and then like explained that sad shit like halfway through the movie. It didn't start with that sad shit. It like flashed back to it, because like when you start a movie and it is the saddest movie I've ever seen in my entire life is Grave of the Fireflies, right?
Oh, yeah.
But you don't put the fucking kid die in at the beginning of Grave of the Fireflies. You build up to it.
Spoilers for Grave of the Fireflies.
Oh, if you haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, then like get out of my ats, right? Like you could just you know, you should have watched that shit by now. But like if you want to make a movie, like a movie doesn't have to be all sunshine and rainbows. People can die in movies, and it's fine. You can have a character with a tragic story. But like they built the most tragic story of all time for the guy, for Mr. Up, whatever his name was, and then they put it right at the beginning of the movie. Like, do you want to start watching a movie like, okay, everybody, I'm going to the movies, I got my popcorn, I got my soda, everybody sit down, I got my Twizzlers. Oh, this is going to be a new Crimes of Grindelwald movie. Great. Oh, look. There's a new Adam Sandler movie. It's going to be stupid. They're like, all right, here we go. Pixar. Get down in that chair. And the first thing that happens is you cry. The first thing that happens is you're like, once there was a man and he was sad, but then he met a woman that he loved and was happy. And they were so happy. They were the happiest. And then she died and he was sad. And I'm like, what are you doing, movie? I just want to watch you.
So you want it to be like Transformers the movie where everyone dies like maybe 10 minutes in.
But see, the thing is that I don't give a shit about those guys. Like, I mean,
you didn't.
I mean, there were
a lot of people did.
there were little babies. You know, I always find it weird at the beginning of Transformers the movie how they make the point of showing like children robots on that planet. Where everybody's got the weird robot hair coming off the back of their head. But yes, Danger Dave, if you want to punch me in the gut emotionally, let me get to know the characters, because then it'll be even more effective, right?
Oh,
because,
okay, yeah.
you know, I'll be like, oh, I care about this grumpy man. Why are you so grumpy man? And then when I know that, I'm like, oh, it all makes sense now. Why he's so grumpy? He's sad. He's not grumpy. And then like, oh, and then he kind of comes back from it. But like, yeah, the first thing I want to do in a movie is not be bummed the mother. Like if Bambi started and the first thing that happened was Bambi's mom got shot, and then the next thing that happened was they flashed back like 2 weeks earlier, and it was like Bambi and his mom going like, la, 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 la. And you'd be like, this is weird. Why did we start with the mom getting killed?
It's like a Tarantino film.
Right. And even Casablanca, you know, like, you know, Rick, he gets her on the plane, but, you know, he's kind of being suave about it. Like he's tricking her for her own good, and then after that, you know, he's friends with the police chief, right? This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, right? That's like how the movie ends, is the two of them walking off, and you're like, at least he's got his buddy, you know. Like if Casablanca ended with the Nazis coming and shooting what's her face and the policeman, and then like stripping Rick naked and like throwing him in the ocean, and then it was like the end, and you're like, what?
That's so oddly specific.
I don't know. It's just bad things I can think of. But yeah, I think that Up would have worked a lot better if you would have started with a funny movie and then eventually had some tragedy. Because all Disney movies do that shit, right? And there's always tragedy, right?
Yeah, Disney's built upon tragedy.
Right. And then, you know, but just like fucking chill your nuts out, you know. Like, I cry at the end of WALL-E when she's putting it back together and he doesn't recognize her, and I'm just like, oh no!
Yeah, that part in WALL-E fucks me up.
Yeah.
I can't watch Coco without like immediately almost crying.
Yeah.
They played it at work because like it was like a Disney day.
Oh,
they started playing at work because like, don't look at it. Don't look at the screen. You're going to start crying over the phone.
Yeah. I mean, I get emotionally invested in a lot of Disney movies. Underneath my hard and crunchy outside, there's a gooey caramel center of weepy tears and like crying on the floor. So, you know, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with me. I'm not. Well, I was gonna go down the Infinity War path, but I've made my point. So, all right. Daniel writes in and says, "Hello, Jeff and Michael. I was talking with a friend about World of Warcraft Classic and the mode that Blizzard is introducing for players that want to play vanilla WoW. The main reason it excited him was because he felt that current WoW was too much and complicated for him, and that he felt that vanilla WoW would be a more refreshing change for him. That leads me to ask you all this question." Are there any IPs that you wish had a classic mode like this? In these IPs, do you prefer the older games compared to the modern iterations? I know for me that I prefer playing Call of Duty 2 and Modern Warfare 1 than the newer Call of Duties. Thanks, and hope you have a good holiday season. And that's from Daniel. Anything that you wish was a little bit dumbed down, or, well, not dumbed down, but like less, you feel has gotten way more complicated than it needed to be initially?
I don't know, because a lot of games actually do stuff like that. Like some of the Halo games did that for a while. They're like classic damage mode, so like your pistol would be like OP again, like the way it was in Halo 1. So a lot of shooters are really good about that, but as for later on games, like I think some of the Final Fantasy games need to tone it the fuck back down.
Yeah.
Same with like basically like a lot of RPGs are like, here's all the batshit insane things you never want to do kind of thing. Like Pokemon's like that. It's like you have to breed these specific things to get this specific thing to do this specific things. Like I just want to fight. I just want to do fucking dogfights with these animals. I don't want to deal with all this stat shit kind of thing. Like that's why I love going back to play Pokemon Yellow or Pokemon Red or Blues, because it's like, it's all straightforward. Some people are OP and some people aren't. I don't really care. Like there's not a lot of like stat boosts and feeding them certain things to get this certain thing. It's like, I kind of just want to go back to not dealing with that shit anymore.
Oh boy, I can definitely say I don't think it's an iteration on a game, but again, I mean, like the only one that I can think of that falls directly into that category is Team Fortress 2, because once they started adding like different weapons and different like modded weapons, every slot you can now unlock, different weapons that have different types of bonuses, where it used to just be like, I know what everybody in this motherfucking team can do.
Yeah.
And I know what everybody on the other team can do, and I know exactly what they do. Like, imagine how much more difficult Overwatch would be if everybody had like 3 different primary weapons with different like advantages and different disadvantages.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think now of like franchises that got overtly complicated.
Well, I think Red Dead 2's controls are overly complicated.
Somewhat.
Especially compared to 1.
I was thinking of Assassin's Creed just because
I was about to say
it's
that
gotten
one too.
way overcomplicated. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, generally, that kind of complicated stuff is not something that I immediately abhor, but it's not immediately a good thing. I'm going to fall back on my answer, Daniel, of just like, if it makes the game better, great. I'm trying to think of times where I think that the answers that you're looking for probably rely on a lot of games that I don't play, like MMOs, or like, oh man, I liked Warframe before the 4.627 update, or So.
Yeah, shooters are like that too, but like I said, a lot of shooters are really good about having classic modes, because Halo has all those armor effects things, and then there's modes without them, so yeah.
Yep. And you know what? That's going to be it. Wrap it up. Because that is enough questions. And thanks everybody for writing in your questions in 2018. Remember that we need 2019 questions. We need future questions. The podcast is going to be back in 2 weeks. So there's not going to, or 3 weeks. There's not going to be any podcast on the week of Christmas.
Oh.
There's not going to be any podcast on the week of New Year. Because I'm going to be fucking out of town, right? And I'm taking a goddamn vacation. But then the week after that, so the week of New Year's, none. But then the Sunday after that, what'll it be here? Why don't I give you a date? Why don't, instead of just fucking rattling off numbers
Yeah,
here?
just have a day.
So let's see. Sunday the 29th, there will be no podcast. No, Sunday the 30th, there will be no podcast. And Sunday the 6th, there will be no podcast. Sunday the 13th of January, we'll be back with another
January
podcast.
13th?
Yes. So get all your questions stored up. Send them on over to me. Get me them questions, and I will get you them answers. Michael, in case people don't know, tell them where they can find you on the internet.
You can find me on oneofus.net, as well as Geek Bombast with Johnson.
There you go. With that, thanks everybody for watching, and